Okay, so should we introduce ourselves and like go over the characters that we're playing?
Sure.
Who goes
Yeah.
first? Do we do
Alright.
it alphabetically?
I can do it.
Spotlight someone.
Spotlight my dick,
What?
bitch.
Okay, I'll go first then. My name is Duck, and I will be playing Casey and Tatum and a couple of other miscellaneous characters, I think. And I'm also going to be narrating the script. And that's what I'm about. That's my deal. So, Reese, do you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Reese. I'll be
Petri
playing
dish.
Ghostface, Billy Loomis. Was it Casey's dad? Sidney's dad? A dad.
Casey's dad.
I'll be playing a dad and a
Hippo dad.
Multiple dads.
I am
dads.
everyone's dad.
I'm playing
It's
all
like
of his daddies. They're in
Elm
this
Street
now.
2 when he goes, "You're all my children."
That's
That's
my
just
favourite
Reese
part of
now.
Scream.
Andrew, do you want to go next?
Who's next?
Hi, I'm Indrid, and I'm going to be playing Deputy Dewey. That's not his name, is it? Sheriff?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
something
is.
like that.
That's his name. You got it.
And Randy. And
Hell yeah.
You
various
got it.
All right, Max.
bathroom girl number 2.
Salutations, gamers. I'm Max,
Greetings
and I'm
and
going to be playing.
salutations.
Who is it? Stu and Gail,
Oh no.
Stu and Gail.
and girl in bathroom number 1.
And girl in
We
bathroom
can't
number
forget
The
her.
star
We
of the
can't
show.
forget her. All right.
Girl in
last,
bathroom number 1
last
is the
but
star
not
of the show.
least,
Hi,
This
I'm
loser.
Eve. Fuck you. And I'm playing
wish you could.
Sydney. I think that's all the characters I'm playing because she's in a scene with literally everyone. So
yeah, it was.
Colors.
I wanted to cast you as more roles, but Sydney literally interacts
you're
with every
fine.
single character.
just me having an argument with
Don't be
Gail.
Also,
now that
Yourself.
Now that we've officially started, can I just like say something that will annoy everyone?
No.
No.
Okay, when
Okay,
we
so
do
let's
another
start the
movie,
script
Bagsy
reading,
Herbert.
guys. Fade in on a ringing telephone. A hand reaches for it, bringing the receiver up to the face of Casey Becker, a young girl, no more than 16, a friendly face with innocent eyes. Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Who is this?
Who are you trying to reach?
What number is this?
Well, what number are you trying to reach?
I don't know.
I think you have the wrong number.
Do I?
It happens. Take it easy. Click. She hangs up the phone. The camera pulls back to reveal Casey in a living room, alone. She moves from the living room to the kitchen. It's a nice house, affluent. The phone rings again. Casey grabs the portable. Hello?
I'm sorry. I guess I dialed the wrong number.
So why did you dial it again?
To apologize.
You're forgiven. Bye now.
Wait, don't hang up.
Casey stands in front of a sliding glass door. It's pitch black outside. What?
I want to talk to you for a second.
They've got 900 numbers for that. See ya. Click. Casey hangs up, a grin on her face. Exterior, Casey's house, night. A big country home with a huge sprawling lawn full of big oak trees. It sits alone with no neighbours in sight. The phone rings again. Popcorn sizzles on a pot on the stove. Casey covers it with a lid, reaching for the portable phone. Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
Jake's popcorn.
What's that noise?
Casey smiles, playing along innocently. Popcorn.
You're making popcorn?
Uh-huh.
I only eat popcorn at the movies.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Just some scary movie.
Do you like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
He's flirting with her. Casey moves away from the stove and takes a seat at the kitchen counter, directly in front of the glass door. I don't know.
You have to have a favorite.
Halloween. You know, the one where the guy with the white mask just sort of walks around and stalks babysitters. What's yours?
Guess.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that the one where the guy had knives for fingers?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy. That's right. I liked that movie. It was scary.
The first one was, but the rest sucked.
So, you got a boyfriend?
Why, do you want to ask me out?
Maybe. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
Because I want to know who I'm looking at.
What did you say?
I want to know who I'm talking to.
That's not what you said.
What do you think I said?
Casey clicks on the outside light. A floodlight illuminates the backyard. Her eyes survey the grounds. But it's empty. No one's there. She turns the light out. On the stove, the popcorn pops. I have to go now.
Wait, I thought we were going to go out.
No, I don't think so.
Don't hang up on me.
Gotta go.
Don't.
Click. Casey hangs up. She checks the glass door, making sure it's locked. She checks the glass door, making sure
You
it's
fucked
locked.
up.
Then moves to the stove as the phone rings. She slides the popcorn from the stove, reaching for the phone. Yes?
I told you not to hang up on me.
What do you want?
To talk.
Well, dial someone else, okay?
You getting scared?
Click. She hangs up. The phone rings again. She grabs it. Listen, asshole!
No, you listen, you little bitch. If you hang on me again, I'll gut you like a fish. Understand?
Is this some kind of a joke?
More of a game, really.
Casey eyes the glass doors, then looks up to the hallway to the front doors, moving to it. It's unlocked. She bolts it. I am 2 seconds away from calling the police.
They'd never make it in time.
Casey moves, face flush against the door, her eye looking through the peephole, a distorted view of the front porch. It's empty. She relaxes a little, relieved. What do you want?
See what your insides look like.
The doorbell chimes. Casey leaps out of her skin. She turns to the door as it chimes again. Who's there? Another chime. She moves to it. Who's there? No answer. Fuck this. It's time for the police. She goes to the portable phone. Just as she picks it up, it rings. Casey almost drops it, losing her breath. She brings it to her ear with trembling hands, saying nothing, listening, waiting. A long silence, and then...
You should never say who's there. Don't you watch scary movies? It's a death wish.
Look, enough is enough. You had your fun. Now you better leave me alone or else.
Or else what?
My boyfriend will be here any second and he'll be pissed when I tell him.
I thought you didn't have a boyfriend.
I lied. I do have a boyfriend and he'll be here any second and your ass better be gone.
Sure.
I swear it. He's big and he plays football and he'll kick the shit out of you.
Oh, I'm shaking in my boots.
So you better leave.
His name wouldn't be Steve, would it?
How do you know his name?
Go to the back door and turn on the porch light. Again.
Casey, terrified, forces herself to move, staggering to the kitchen, to the glass doors. Her shaky hand finds the light switch. She hits it. The backyard is lit. Sitting in a lawn chair in the middle of the backyard is a big linebacker of a guy, her boyfriend, tied and gagged.
Boys.
He's been roughed up, but he's alive. Close on his face, wide in fear, staring at his girlfriend, pleading with her. Oh, God! Casey screams. Her hand moves to lock the door.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Terror rides Casey's face. She's petrified. Where are you?
Guess.
Her eyes search the yard, combing bushes, trees. He could be anywhere, anywhere. Please don't hurt him.
That all depends on you.
Why are you doing this?
I want to play a game.
No.
And he dies. Right now.
No!
Which is it?
A long silence. Casey touches the glass, staring at Steve. This big jock of a guy is crying too. What kind of game?
Turn off the light.
Her hand goes to the switch. Steve tugs and pulls at his straps, as if begging her, his face sweat and tears. Click. He disappears into the darkness. Casey moves away from the glass, back towards the living room, unbelieving, horrified.
Here's how we play. I ask a question. If you get it right, Steve lives.
Three curtain The 3 curtainless windows line one wall. Casey crouches down behind the couch, tipping a lamp cord from its socket, darkening the room. Her body quivers. Please don't do this.
Come on, it'll be fun.
No, please.
It's an easy category, movie trivia.
Please.
I'll even give you a warm-up question.
Don't do this. I can't.
Name the killer in Halloween.
No.
Come on, it's your favorite scary movie, remember? He had a white mask, he stalked the babysitters.
Casey goes silent, a nervous wreck. She can barely speak, much less think. I don't know.
Come on, yes you do.
Please stop.
What's his name?
I can't think.
Steve's counting on you.
Suddenly, through tears, God sent. Michael Myers.
Yes!
Casey sighs, relieved.
Now for the real question.
No!
But you're doing so well.
Please go away. Leave us alone.
Then answer this question. Same category.
Casey is a blubbering, wet mass on the floor. Please, no.
Name the killer in Friday the 13th.
Jason! Jason!
I'm sorry. That's the wrong answer.
No, it's not. It was Jason.
Afraid not.
It was Jason. I saw that goddamn movie 20 times. It was Jason.
Then you should know Jason's mother, Mrs. Voorhees, was the original killer. Jason didn't show up until the sequel.
You tricked me.
Lucky for you, there's a bonus round, but poor Steve, I'm afraid he's out.
The implication sends Casey running to the kitchen, to the glass doors. She flips on the porch lights to see Steve, eyes wide, sitting in the lawn chair, his belly gaping open, a mass of blood and ripped flesh. His insides lay on the ground between his feet, steam rising. A scream erupts from the bottom of her soul as Casey collapses on the floor, nearly passing out. Close on her face, pale and ghostly white, she sobs.
Final question. Are you ready?
She doesn't answer. A long, maddening silence. Casey reaches up and clicks off the light, making Steve go away, wishing, hoping. Leave me alone, please.
Answer the question and I will.
Casey is curled up on the floor like an infant, rocking slowly back and forth.
What door am I at?
What?
There are 2 doors to your house, a front door and a back one. If you answer correctly, you live.
From where Casey sits, she can see both front and back doors. She deliberates. With her last bit of strength, she tries to strategize, eyeing both the front door and the back door, trying to decide between the two. Don't make me. I can't. I won't.
Your call.
In the darkness, Casey crawls to the kitchen counter. She leans up and grabs a long, sharp knife. Casey looks around her. She goes down the hall to the front door, then turns back to the kitchen glass door as it suddenly shatters to bits, as a lawn chair comes flying through it. Exploding glass sprays everywhere. This incites Casey like fire. She springs to her feet, bolting out of the kitchen as a shadow moves quickly through the shattered doorframe. Somewhere in the house, back flat against the window, listening to feet on cracking glass, she turns and unlocks the latch, quietly sliding it up. She can hear him move through the foyer to the front door. Casey lifts herself up and puts her legs through the window. She holds the knife in one hand, the phone in the other. Casey eases out through the window, fumbling, dropping the knife back in the house. She starts to reach for it. Fuck it, she takes off. Exterior, side of house. Casey is at the back corner of the house.
I can hear you. I know you're here.
Casey eases along a narrow path between a tall fence and the side of the house, going for the front yard. She must pass the 3 curtainless windows. She gets to the first one and peeks in. The figure has pulled open the foyer closet, searching for her. Casey creeps along to the next window. She looks in. The figure is completely on the other side of the room, moving toward the hall that leads to other parts of the house. She moves further along the house, squeezing by hedges to the third window. She peeks in to see the figure staring back at her. His face is covered with a ghostly white mask, inches from her, his eyes piercing through, soulless. Casey screams bloody murder as a hand crashes through the glass window, grabbing a hold of her neck. She beats at him, trying to free herself. Her nails dig into his arm. She wrenches from side to side, finally breaking free as the hand disappears back into the house. Casey sails around the corner of the house, eyeing the front door. It remains closed. Her eyes cover the sprawling country yard when suddenly headlights appear. In the distance, coming down the road towards the house, she recognises them instantly. Mom, Dad. She tears off across the yard towards them, moving like lightning. The car turns into the driveway. Casey screams, waving madly, rushing by a tree as the ghost mask figure appears. Casey stumbles back, catching her balance. The figure moves on her, arm poised high, a flash of silver, and Casey is struck across the chest. She looks down to see her shirt blossoming red, a look of bewilderment as she drops to one knee. The knife rises again. Casey throws her hand forward. The blade comes down, but it's blocked by the portable phone still in her hand. She turns staggering to the driveway. A middle-aged couple emerge from a parked car. They move to the front door, completely unaware of what's happening to their daughter, only feet from them. Exterior front yard. Casey stumbles forward, her parents 10 feet away. She opens her mouth to scream, but no sound resonates. She is beyond words, staggering, swaying, the figure moving behind her. Her parents approach the door.
Am I the father?
Fish smell.
Yes, I don't know. Do you want me to be the mother? I really don't mind.
That fish smelled strong.
I told you to send it back. The father discovers the front door ajar, a puzzled look. Casey is right behind them with one arm outstretched, if only they turn around. They enter the house and close the door as Casey collapses on the ground, clutching her bloody chest, the figure upon her. She reaches a weak hand upward, managing to grab the mask and pull it down. We see a look of horrified recognition on her face before the knife is brought down upon her yet again. Interior foyer. The father sees back into the kitchen, the shattered patio door.
Jesus.
What is it? Where's Casey?
Casey? Casey!
In a split second, they're both panic-stricken. The father begins searching the house frantically. The mother is hysterical. Exterior front yard. Close on Casey, she is being dragged by her feet through damp soil, the life going fast from her body, her hand still clutching the phone. Interior foyer, back in the house. Where is she?
Call the police.
The mother moves to the phone in the foyer, picks it up. There is no dial tone. She jiggles the base.
Casey, where are you, honey? Call the police, goddammit!
The phone's dead. The softest, faintest voice is heard. Help me. She's here. God, I can hear her. Where's my baby? The husband returns to the foyer, finding his wife clinging to the phone.
Where is she?
I can hear her. Oh, Mother of God, I can hear her. The father upturns the living room.
Casey! Casey!
Not my daughter. Not my... The husband grabs a hold of his wife.
Get in the car and drive down to the Mackenzies.
The other throws the front door open and rushes out. The father moves to the house when a scream echoes out, that of his wife. He tears off for the front door. Exterior front door. The father rushes out the door to find his wife on her knees, bent over, retching. His eyes move beyond to a tree in the front yard. His stomach fails him. His dinner rises as he bears witness to the single, most horrifying sight he'll ever see, that of his only daughter, as she hangs from a big oak tree, strung up, very much dead, her stomach ripped open. Blackout!
Interior bedroom.
Interior bedroom.
Interior
Same night.
bedroom.
Interior bedroom.
Interior bedroom.
Interior bedroom.
A teenage girl's room.
Interior bedroom.
On the bed, amongst age-old stuffed animals, lie open school books. The camera pans to a desk against the wall where Sydney Prescott, a young girl of 17, sits, her face glued to the computer monitor in front of her. Close on her face, sharp and clever with deep, lonely eyes. She's comfortable in a plain flannel nightgown. Her hands are at work, typing feverishly, when suddenly, crash, boom, a noise behind her. She turns abruptly, eyeing an open window across the room. A scratching sound. She stands and moves towards it. Exterior window. Sydney sticks her head out of the window. The late-night wind hits her face as a shadow appears just to the left of her. A hand reaches out, grabs her, and suddenly a figure is on top of her. Interior bedroom. Sid screams, pulling away from the figure, breaking free, falling back onto the floor.
Hey,
If
hey,
she
hey,
screams.
hey. It's just me.
Sid looks up to see Billy Loomis, a young, strapping boy of 17, handsome and alluring, a star quarterback class president type of guy. He sports a
What?
smile that could last 4 days.
Billy, what
Sorry, don't hate me.
are you doing here?
You sleep in that?
Billy pulls himself through the window.
My dad's in the other room.
I'll only stay a sec.
Suddenly, the bedroom door bursts open. The doorknob catches on the open closet door behind it, jamming it, holding it in place. And did I get someone to play Sydney's dad?
I vote injured.
Yeah, I was going to say, Andrew, could you do Sydney's dad?
Sure.
Thank you.
What's going on in there?
Billy quickly rolls out of sight behind the bed. Sydney unjams the door to reveal Mr. Prescott, late 40s, a severe presence. A distracted man, nervous and preoccupied.
Are you okay?
Can you knock?
I heard screaming.
No, you didn't.
No? Oh, well, I'm hitting the sack. My flight leaves first thing in the morning. Now, the expo runs all weekend, so I won't be back till Sunday. There's cash on the table, and I'll be staying at the Rayleigh Hilton.
Out at the airport.
So call if you need me.
Got it.
He gives the bedroom a quick once-over.
I could have sworn I heard screaming.
Sydney distracts him, giving him a peck on the cheek.
Have a good trip.
Sleep tight, sweetie.
He gives her a wink and pulls the door closed. Billy reappears.
Post call.
What are you doing here?
Billy takes a flying leap and lands on the bed.
It just occurred to me that I've never snuck through your bedroom window.
Now that it's out of your system.
And I was home, bored, watching television. The Exorcist was on, and it got me thinking of you.
It did? How romantic.
Yeah, it was edited for TV. All the good stuff was cut out. And I started thinking about us and how 2 years ago we started off kind of hot and heavy. A nice solid R rating on our way to an NC-17. And how things have changed. And lately we're just sort of edited for television.
Oh, so you thought you could sneak in my window and we could get a little raw footage?
No. I wouldn't dream of breaking your underwear rule. I just thought we might do some on top of the clothes stuff.
Sydney smiles, thinking it over.
Okay.
Oh God, okay. She snuggles up next to him, planting a kiss on his lips, passionate and gentle. He, however, reacts like a shark, moving on top of her, his hands everywhere as he presses into her. Sydney breaks away.
I'm gonna go stud bucket.
Consent.
Billy sits up. His heart isn't racing, it's pounding.
See what you do to me?
Sweat has popped out all over his forehead, his breathing heavy. Sydney laughs at his disheveled state.
You know what my dad will do to you?
I'm going.
He moves to the window. She follows, motioning to his wound.
You know, I do appreciate the romantic gesture.
She gives him a kiss goodnight, sweet and simple.
Hey, about the sex stuff, I'm not trying to rush you. I was only half serious.
She kisses him again as he eases through the window.
Would you settle for a little PG-13 relationship?
What's that?
She pulls her flannel nightgown open for a split second, flashing her left breast. His mouth drops open, surprise, shock. Their eyes meet, they share a smile.
Tits.
Teddies, 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 tits, tits.
Come on, get them out, Eve.
No! Max, you need to chill the fuck out.
I do what I want. I'm the god here.
No, you're not.
Okay.
My God, you're such a tease.
Get out of here.
Exterior school morning. Close on a
Hated
sign.
that.
I know, I fucking despise that. I was like, would this be easier if I did this narration in a funny voice? And then I was gonna be like, oh, she kisses him passionately. Wow.
That sounds like Haru from Beastars.
I don't watch anime because I'm not a nerd.
Not a weeb.
I'm not a
Favorite
wee
High
either, just
School,
like
home
anime.
of the fighting bulldogs. The camera pulls back
I'll fight
to
your
reveal a
bulldog.
picture-perfect small town. A picture-perfect small town school, old and charming. Students come and go, moving about. Nothing unusual except for the 6 police cars, 4 news vans, flashing cameras, and crowds of looky-loos gathered just off campus. Exterior sidewalk. Sydney approaches the school, seeing the commotion. 4 different reporters stand in front of 4 different cameras, giving 4 different news reports. She moves past a policeman standing guard. Her interest piqued, she stops at the first reporter, who is Gail Weathers, 30s. Her smart face is overshadowed by a flashy smile and a massive mane of chemically enhanced hair.
The small town of Bayboro, North Carolina was devastated last night when 2 young teenagers have been brutally butchered. Authorities have yet to issue a statement, but our sources tell us that no arrest has been made, and the murderer could strike again.
On Sydney, moved, disturbed. From behind, a finger taps her shoulder. She spins around to see Tatum Riley, same age, feisty, carefree. Do you believe this shit?
What happened?
They break away from the crowd and head for school. Oh God, you don't know? Casey Becker and Steve Forrest were killed last night.
No way.
And not just killed, Sid. We're talking splatter movie killed, split open end to end.
Casey Becker? She sits next to me in English.
Not anymore. Her parents found her hanging from a tree, her insides on the outside.
Did he know who did it?
Fucking clueless. They're interrogating the entire school. Teachers, students, staff, janitors.
They think it's school related.
They don't know. Dewey said this is the worst crime they've ever seen. Even worse than... Well, it's bad. They're bringing in the feds. This is big. Sydney looks back at Gail, her face deeply pained. Interior, classroom, later. A frumpy old woman, Mrs. Tate, faces her class, her hands clasped together, a tragic look upon her face. I can do Mrs. Tate if you want.
Do a really weird voice.
I'll just do Professor
Miss
McGonagall.
Frizzle.
You like this?
A terrible
Miss Frizzle.
tragedy. I don't know what Miss Frizzle's voice sounds like.
Well, she's no Scottish, so
A real
so
fucking
throw that out the window.
tragedy, so it is.
It's a real fucking tragedy, so it is an
Such a
unbearable
tragedy,
loss.
isn't it?
Today's
Oh,
like
it's such a tragedy.
Today's like these. We need
So
drugs in
sad.
school. I mean, prayer in school.
I think we need drugs in
terrible-
school every day.
A terrible tragedy, an unbearable loss. It's days like today we need prayer in school. Sydney sits near the rear of the room. The desk in front of her sits vacant. Sydney can't take her eyes off of it. The door opens and a student opens with a slip of paper. He hands it to Mrs. Tate. Sydney, it appears to be your turn. Interior, principal's office. The room is at capacity, wall to wall with police and the likes. Some sit, stand, lean. Sheriff Burke, a round man in his 50s, wipes the stress from his face. I don't even know, did I cast Sheriff Burke?
I don't think so. I vote Reese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Who's up next?
A young officer looks at the clipboard. This is Deputy Riley, better known as Dewey. He's a big guy, 20s, handsome, in a scrubbed, clean, boyish way.
Sydney Prescott.
Sheriff Burke gestures to bring her in. Principal Hembry, 50s, an old codger of a
Principal
man wearing
Hemble?
Principal Hemble?
Where?
50s, an old codger of a man is wearing a sour face as he speaks up. Sydney Prescott, she was the daughter of...
We all know Sydney, Mr. Hembry.
How's she doing?
Hembo.
How's
How
she
you
doing?
How's
Hey.
she doing?
Hey, how's she doing?
We're gonna have some great bloopers.
How's she doing?
That's me, you fuck.
God fucking damn it,
You
dude.
Burke.
That's you then.
You Sheriff Burke.
You're Mr. Hembry, I'm Sheriff Burke.
Okay,
That's-
got it.
Okay.
Mr. Hembo and Sheriff Dirk.
It's me, Burke Strider.
It's me, Dirk Gently.
No.
Just- Okay, do you want to say the line again?
How's she doing?
How should do?
She's adjusted well, maintains an A average. You never know Hembry stops short, seeing Sydney in the doorway. He rises and seats her.
Hi, Sydney.
Sheriff Burke? Dewey?
Dewey shakes his head seriously.
It's Deputy Riley today, Sid.
How is everyone?
Good.
And your dad, how's he doing?
And your dad.
Yeah, da.
You're fine. Thanks.
We'll be brief, Sydney. The police have a few questions they'd like to ask you. Sydney eyes them all nervously. Exterior, school courtyard, later. Students sit at outdoor tables eating lunch. Crowded at one table is the gang. This consists of Sydney, Billy, and
Boys.
Tatum. Next to Tatum sits her boyfriend, Stu, with his arm draped across her back.
Wait, we're dating?
Yes.
Poggers.
He's a Billy
Poggers?
wannabe. Almost a jock, almost handsome, almost cool. He tries way too hard. Across the table is the fifth wheel, Randy, a tall and gangly kid with no such Billy-like aspirations, a witty jokester who elevates geek to coolness. Hunts. Why would they ask you if you want to hunt?
I don't know. They just did.
As the bodies were gutted.
Thanks, Randy.
They didn't ask me if I like to hunt.
Because there's no way a girl could have killed them.
That is so sexist. The killer could easily be female. Basic instinct.
That was an ice pick, not exactly the same.
Yeah, Casey and Steve were completely hollowed out. The fact is, it takes a man to do something like that.
Or a man's mentality.
How do you gut someone?
All eyes turn to Sydney, a serious silence, and then...
You take a knife and slit them from groin to sternum.
Sydney shivers down to her soul. The whole table rolls their eyes at Stu.
What? She asked.
Call tact, you fuck rag.
Sorry.
Hey, Stu, didn't you used to date Casey?
Stu's taken aback, a little off guard.
For like 2 seconds.
Before she dumped him for Steve.
I thought you dumped her for me.
I did. He's full of shit.
And are the police aware you dated the victim?
What are you saying? Are you saying that I killed her or something?
It would certainly improve your high school Q.
Stu was with me last night.
Ooh, before or after he sliced and diced?
You nutcase, where were you last night?
Working, thank you.
I thought Blockbuster fired your ass.
Twice.
I didn't kill anybody.
One's saying you did.
Stu smiles, cocking his head.
Ah, thanks, buddy.
Besides, takes a man to do something like that.
I'm gonna gut your ass in a second, kid.
Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? I heard they found her liver in the mailbox, next to her spleen.
Randy, you goon fuck, I'm trying to eat here. Stu nibbles at Tatum's neck.
Yeah, Randy, she's getting mad. I think you better leave her alone.
Stu cracks up at his own joke. The others just moan. Sydney is about to crawl out of her skin. Ugh. Trying hard to ignore it all. Billy socks Stu in the arm hard.
Oh, it was a joke.
Exterior, Sydney's house, later. A huge 2-story country home with a spacious lawn. A yellow
Country
school bus
home.
stops in front of the house.
Country roads.
Take me home.
Country roads.
Country road, Sydney's home. From her
Home to
school.
the
No,
place.
she's not. 'cause
Mario!
It's a bee.
It's Luigi.
Mario. Ed,
A yellow
Ed by
school bus.
Ouija.
A yellow school bus stops in front of the house and Sydney steps off. The house looks big and lonely as Sydney moves up the walk to the front door. Interior bedroom, later. Sydney is on the telephone.
You sure I can stay over? My dad won't be back till Sunday.
No problem, I'll pick you up after practice.
Tell your mom I said thanks.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Uh-huh. It's just, the police, reporters, brings it all back.
I'll be there at 7, I promise.
Thanks, Tatum.
Later. Sydney hangs up.
Is the flash
She takes a
dance from
seat at her
Vietnam.
computer and boots it up. She sits in front of it, staring at the blue screen, her own reflection staring back. Interior living room, later. Sydney comes down the stairs, her arms carrying a change of clothes, toothbrush, makeup. She opens the hall closet and pulls a small overnight bag from the top shelf. Moving into the living room, she loads it up, plopping down on the sofa, hitting the TV remote. Close on the screen, a news reporter fades in. The entire nation was shocked today by the teen murders in North Carolina. Sydney switches channels. The State Bureau of Investigation has joined forces with local authorities to catch what the governor has called the most heinous. The channel switches again. Gail Weathers appears, standing in front of the school, her white teeth gleaming.
This is not the first time the small tragedy of Babe. Just a
small one.
Small.
Tiny tragedy.
Little one.
Little a tragedy.
Little tragedy.
Yeah, that's a treat.
Little bit.
We deserve it. This is not the first time the small town of Bayborough has endured such tragedy. Only a year ago, Maureen Prescott, wife and mother, was found brutally murdered.
An old black and white snapshot fills the screen. A woman, beautiful and familiar. Close on Sydney, eyes frozen, mesmerised by the image. Suddenly, she clicks the TV off. Her eyes go to the clock on the end table. 5:45 p.m. Her eyes then move to the framed photo next to it. The same black and white photo stares at her, a healthy, vibrant woman, an older version of Sydney. Sydney curls up on the sofa, closing her eyes tight. Interior living room, later. The clock on the end table reads 7:15 p.m. Sydney is fast asleep on the couch. The phone rings. Sydney leaps up, grabbing the portable phone. Practice ran late. I'm on my way.
It's past 7.
Don't worry, Casey and Steve didn't bite it till way after 10.
I'm not worried.
Good, because I want to swing by Blockbuster and get us a video. I was thinking Tom Cruise and all the right moves. You know, if you pause it just right, you can see his penis.
Whatever, just hurry.
Bye. She hangs up the phone. It immediately rings again.
Tatum?
You're mute.
Chris, you're muted.
Fuck. Am I?
Yes,
We can hear you now.
we can hear you now.
I
We
must
just
have
didn't
spoken
hear
too
you
quiet.
say the
Okay. Hello, Sydney.
It's him, the voice from before.
Hi? Who is this?
You tell me.
Sydney thinks, trying to place his voice. It sounds a little distorted.
I have no idea.
Scary night, isn't it? With the murders and all, it's like right out of a horror movie or something.
Randy, you gave yourself away. Are you calling from work? Tatum's on her way over.
Do you like scary movies, Sydney?
Well, I like the thing you're doing with your voice, Randy. It's sexy.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Don't start. You know I don't watch that shit.
And why is that?
Because they're all the same. It's always some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who always runs up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
A brief silence.
Are you alone in the house?
That is so unoriginal. You disappoint me, Randy.
Maybe that's because I'm not Randy.
So, who are you?
The question is not who am I. The question is, where am I?
So, where are you?
Your front porch.
This gives her pause. She moves to the window and pulls aside the drapes.
Why would you call me from my front porch?
That's the original part.
Angle through the window. She can't quite see all of the porch.
Oh yeah? Well, I call your bluff.
Sydney goes to the front door. She unlocks the bolt, unsnags the chain, and pulls the door open, revealing the front porch, completely empty. She steps out onto it, phone still in hand. A single light shines overhead, illuminating the porch, but little beyond. Darkness all around.
So, where are you?
Right here.
Sydney peers out into the darkness past thick shrubs that grow on either side of the porch.
Can you see me right now?
Uh-huh.
What am I doing?
She sticks a finger up her nose, pretending to pick. Silence. No answer.
Good try, Randy. Tell Tatum to hurry. Bye now.
If you hang up, you'll die just like your mother.
Sydney stops dead in her tracks, speechless.
Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother didn't.
His seriousness unnerves her. Sid flies off the handle.
You crin.
She hangs up on him, moves back inside the house, locks, chains, and bolts the door when a figure comes leaping out of the hall closet, rushing her, ramming her into her side. The phone flies. The figure is on top of her as she goes down, screaming. She looks up to see the figure, darkly dressed with a pale, distorted face, white and ghostly, a mask. Her instincts surface, and she kicks up with her foot, making contact with his leg. He topples over, coming right at her, his hand finding her neck. Suddenly, a long, silver blade appears above her. Sydney jerks, pulls, twists. Finally, she lifts her torso forward, knocking the figure off of her, sending him reeling into the living room. Wasting no time, Sydney leaps to her feet. She moves to the front door, unlocks it, pulls it open. It catches on the chain. Shit! She pulls it closed again, looking behind her. The figure has risen, knife in hand. Sydney pulls on the chain, then inexplicably.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you. Sydney pulls on the chain,
Please.
then inexplicably turns and runs up the stairs, the figure right behind her. Interior upstairs landing. The figure leaps at Sydney, taking a hold of her foot. She grabs madly at the wall. Her hands grasp a framed painting. A quiet country home, subdued colours, done in oils. She rips it from the wall, swinging it behind her. It catches the figure head on, smashing against his skull, sending him backwards, tumbling down the stairs. Sydney races to her bedroom. Interior bedroom. She locks the door shut, then pulls her closet door open, placing the edge right at the doorknob just as the figure pounds against the bedroom door, ramming it. It rips open, but the closet door catches it in a crazy vice-like hold. Sydney grabs the desk phone. It's dead, off the hook downstairs. The figure rushes the door several times. The frame splinters, but won't give. Sydney is at her computer. She punches at the keypad madly. Close on screen as words appear. Fax modem, 911, send. The knife slashes through the crack in the door wildly. On screen again. Help, killer, 34 Elm Street. Sydney presses send. When it occurs to her, all is quiet. The figure is gone. A fearful silence. She looks around. The only sound, her own rapid, terrified breathing. On the screen, stay calm, police en route. Suddenly a noise at her window. Sydney looks up to see Billy, her boyfriend, staring at her, surprised.
Really, please, God.
Heard screaming. The door was locked. Are you okay?
He's here. He's trying to kill me.
Billy pulls himself through the window. As he does, a small black object falls from his dark jeans. It hits the floor as Sydney eyes it. A sleek, compact cellular phone. Sydney stops in her tracks. Their eyes meet. An eternity. A siren is heard in the distance. Sydney bolts.
Hey, wait. What's going...
Billy reaches for her. Sydney unblocks the bedroom door and tears out of the room. Interior landing. Sydney nearly falls down the stairs. Interior foyer. She rips the chain off the door, pulls it open, coming face to face with a white ghostly mask. A massive scream erupts from her gut as the camera pulls back to find Deputy Dewey Riley holding it. Red lights flash, sirens blast as car after car surrounds the house. Exterior front yard minutes later. The yard is a whirlwind of activity. An ambulance, squad cars, cops everywhere. Close on Billy's face as it smashes against the hood of a police car. His hands are being cuffed, his rights being read.
I didn't do anything! Sid! Where's Sid? Ask her. She'll tell you.
Dewey opens a car door open as Sheriff Burke steps out.
We got him, Sheriff. Billy Loomis.
Hank Loomis's kid. Oh, Jesus.
He's her boyfriend.
They approach Billy as he's being placed in a squad car.
Sheriff, I didn't do it. Please, call my dad. Please.
The squad car disappears with Billy as another car comes to a stop in front of the house. Tatum gets out, freaked beyond belief. Back to the sheriff and Dewey as they storm across the yard.
I was first to respond.
What are you doing out there?
Drive-by patrol.
How is she?
She's tough.
Have to be. The shite she's gone through.
Across the yard sits Sydney in the back of an ambulance as paramedics check her out. Sheriff Burke and Riley approach.
We're seeing a lot of you today.
She tries to smile but fails.
You gonna be able to come down to the station and talk to us a bit?
Yeah.
Tatum appears, barreling past an officer. What happened? Oh, God! Tatum rushes to her, grabbing a hold of her.
What are you doing here?
Oh, God, Sid, I'm so sorry I was late.
You can't be here, Tatum. This is an official crime scene.
It's
It's
okay.
She was.
Alright, sorry. Fuck me.
It's okay. She was supposed to pick me up.
Her dad's out of town. She's staying with us.
Does Mom know?
Yes, doofus. 2 news vans come driving up the street.
Vultures are coming. Let's get you out of here.
Exterior street. A big white news van comes to a stop in front of the house. The side door slides open and Gail Weathers hops out just in time to see Sydney being escorted into a squad car.
I'll be damned.
Jumping from the driver's seat is Kenny, Gail's cameraman and flunky. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Like assistant,
Kind
basically.
of follows her.
An earnest young chap on the chubby side.
What?
The camera, hurry.
But it's too late. Sydney is as good as gone. Gail sees Tatum moving quickly to her car.
Excuse me.
Tatum looks up to see Gail Weathers rushing her.
Was that Sydney Prescott they took away?
I don't know. Tatum hops in her car, ignoring her.
What happened to her?
I'm not fucking talking to you. Tatum's car peels out as Kenny comes running up with his camera.
Where'd she go?
Gail spins around, flashing her pearly whites.
Look, Kenny, I know you're about 50 pounds overweight, but when I say hurry, please interpret as move your fat tub of lard ass now.
Gail moves back to the van, leaving Kenny miffed. Interior police
You're
station.
miffed.
Ha, miffed, ha, miffed.
Absolute miffed.
Fucking miffed,
It's like
mate.
molding, but miffed. It's like molding, but 10 times funnier to say. Your mum's miffed, bro.
Your dad sells miffed.
Your dad sells Avon.
Your mum puts
Your
miffed.
dad sells Avon.
Your dad
Your dad
puts
sells.
miffed.
Your dad's
mum
on
puts
fire.
Yes!
Your dad's a
Your
paedophile
dad is
wrestler,
on
calls himself the
fire!
underage. She turned the Waynes against us. I'm miffed.
This is the
I'm
autistic
miffed she turned the
experience.
Waynes ag- Wait, am I autistic?
Your dad. Your dad's autistic.
Your dad is autistic.
Your dad sells autism.
Honestly,
Send
if I
vaccines-
was autistic,
send vaccines
I'd be
turning all the
off to
kids.
school.
The Wayne's
I don't like to put
autistic.
chemicals in the water that turn the frogs
Yeah.
autistic.
Turn the fucking frogs autistic.
We appreciate how many fucking costume changes I'm having.
I really appreciate it very much.
I'm gonna find a costume. For,
I
oh,
can't
wait, I've got
see.
one.
I can't see a lot of the screen. Like I'm reading the script on like a different tab, so I need to keep like going back and forth between the.
I've just got my phone.
But you guys
I've
are
got
doing
them
a
like
great
got
job.
right next to each other.
Oh, in hindsight,
Yeah,
that
I've got-
probably would have been
I've
a
got
better
transfer.
idea. Hold on, I'm actually going to get it on my phone because it's
I've
easier
actually
that
got
way.
mine just like right next to each
I'm gonna
other.
go pee.
All
I'm
right,
gonna go get a costume change because I think Stu's up there.
Intermission, I guess.
Okay.
1 minute
intermission.
intermission from Hamilton.
Sydney sits at a desk drinking a cup of water. She wears the sheriff's jacket over her shoulders. Dewey approaches.
I had to do it to him.
Did you reach my dad?
You're sure it was a Hilton?
At the airport.
He's not registered. Could he have gone to another hotel?
I don't know, I guess.
We'll find him, Sid. Don't worry.
Sydney stares blankly, numb. Interior Sheriff's Office. Billy sits opposite of Sheriff Burke. Next to Billy sits his father, Hank Loomis, an older version of Billy.
What?
Okay, so...
Whatever you do.
No, wait, I was just wondering, because you're going to end up having a
Where's Mr.
conversation with
Loomis?
yourself here.
That's the ideal. Please, can I do
Alright,
it?
yeah, commit to the bit, commit to the bit.
Yeah, like do this.
What are you doing with your cellular telephone, son?
It's my phone, he was just playing around with it.
You got some ideas of playing around, boy. I didn't call anyone with it. I just took it for fun.
Everybody's got one now. Why don't you check the phone bill, for Christ's sakes? Call my carrier, Air Force Comp. They'll have records of every number dialed.
Hank, we're on it. What were you doing at Sydney's tonight? I just wanted to see her, that's all. You rode your bike out there. Yes, sir. And last night, Sydney said you crawled through her window last night too.
Why did you say last night twice?
You were out last night?
I watched TV for a while, but I felt like going for a bike ride. Did you ride past Casey Becker's house? No, I didn't. I didn't kill anyone, Sheriff. We're gonna have to keep you, Billy. The governor's got SBI, FBI, and God knows who else in the way
What's
down here.
SBI?
This is
Billy's-
crazy. I didn't do it.
Sheriff Burke eyes him up and down very carefully. Interior police bullpen. Minutes later, Tatum has joined Sydney. The sheriff's door opens as Billy is led out by a couple of uniforms. Burke and Dewey appear in the door, watching Tatum comfort Sydney.
That ghost mask is sold at both Kroger's and Walmart, neither of which keep purchase records.
What about the cellular phone bill?
They're pulling Loomis's account, but it'd be morning before we see something. You think he did it?
20 years ago, I would have said no chance, but these kids today, damn if I know.
Hey, Dewey, can we go now?
Hold up in a sec.
She's staying with you.
We haven't located her dad yet. No,
God damn
that's
it,
your
Dewey!
accent.
Dewey turns to her, face red.
What did Mama tell you? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deputy Dewey boy, but we're ready to go.
Use the back way. Avoid the circus.
Exterior police station, side door. The door opens and Sydney, Tatum, Dewey and a couple of officers exit, avoiding the horde of reporters that can be seen around the corner, waiting anxiously at the front entrance.
I'll get the car. Wait here.
Dewey takes off. From the darkness of the alley, Gail Weathers appears with Kenny and his camera. They've been waiting.
Hello, Sydney.
Sydney spins around to see Gail standing, smiling at her. Sydney's body tightens and her face goes taut.
Some night. You alright?
Their eyes meet in cold, familiar stares. Sydney says nothing. She's visibly shaking.
What happened?
She's not answering any questions. Just leave us alone, okay?
It's okay, Tatum. She's just doing her job, right, Gail?
Yeah, that's right.
Dewey in a squad car turns into the alley and pulls up. The other news people have wisened up. They begin to flock the alley.
How's the book?
It'll be out this year.
Sydney tries to contain herself, squeezing a clenched fist.
I'll look for it.
I'll send you a copy.
In a blurred, unexpected instant, Sydney brings her fist forward, smashing it into Gail Weathers' face. The impact sends Gail reeling backwards, knocking into Kenny as they both tumble to the pavement. On Sydney, breathing deep, a sense of satisfaction on her face, Dewey escorts Sydney away, leading her past the photographers, away from Gail.
All right. Come on, Sid, let's go. God, where did you learn to punch like that?
Interior, Tatum's bedroom later. A spacious bedroom, typical. Tatum and Sydney lay on the bed. They both wear nightshirts. God, I loved it. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Sid, super bitch. You are so cool. Dewey appears in the doorway holding a bag of ice.
Thought you might want some ice for that right hook.
Sydney sits up, takes the ice, and puts it on her hand.
I'll be right next door. Try and get some sleep.
Dewey moves back out the door.
Any word on my dad?
Not yet, but we're looking. If you need anything.
Yeah. Dewey smiles, pulling the door closed on his way out. Sydney lies back down.
Just another sleepover at the Rileys.
Just like old times, ain't it?
No, nothing's like it used to be.
Sydney rolls over at her side, away from Tatum. A telephone rings somewhere in the house. Do you really think Billy did it?
He was there, Tatum.
He was destined to have a flaw. I knew he was too perfect. I knock at the door. It opens and a friendly greying woman pops in. This is Mama Riley. She wears a comforting smile. Telephone, dear. Who is it? It's for Sid.
That's Tatum.
I am
Tatum
Tatum.
says, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm an idiot. Hi. And
My
smile.
dad?
Mama Riley shakes her head sadly. Take a message. Take a
Take
message.
a massage.
It's alright, I'll get it.
Sydney takes off out the door. Mama Riley motions to Tatum. How is she? Interior hallway. Sydney grabs the phone at the end of the hall.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
It's him. Sydney's entire body goes weak, his voice moving through her, invading her. She cries out.
No!
Mama Riley turns in the doorway. Tatum comes bolting out of the bedroom.
Poor Billy boyfriend. An innocent guy doesn't stand a chance with you.
Leave me alone.
Looks like you fingered the wrong guy. Again?
Who are you?
Hang up, Sid.
Don't worry, you'll find out soon enough. I promise.
Mama Riley beats on a closed bedroom door. Dewey! Dewey!
This is gonna be fun, Sydney. Just like old times.
Click. Dewey flies out of his room wearing only his boxers, holding his gun.
What? What?
The phone goes dead. Sydney stands frozen. Exterior, Bayborough's Main Street. Dawn, establishing. The morning sun shines high over Bayborough Town Square. Cars come to life. Townsfolk stir as the picture postcard community awakens from its restless sleep. Interior kitchen, morning. Sydney and Tatum are at the kitchen table, dressed and ready for school as Mama Riley serves up breakfast. A small television sits on the counter, blaring. Dewey, in uniform, stands near the door, talking on the phone. I really think you girls should stay home from school today. Your objection is duly noted.
I'd rather be around a lot of people, Mama Riley.
From the TV, Sydney hears her name, Sydney Prescott. All eyes go to the television. Who escaped a vicious attack last night was the daughter of Maureen Prescott, who was brutally killed last year when convicted murderer Cotton Weary, insert of Cotton Weary, in prison fatigues, a once handsome man, now haggard and worn, broke into their house and savagely tortured the deceased. Cotton Weary is currently awaiting appeal for the death sentence handed down after the young Sydney testified against him. She was the key witness in the state's prosecution.
It's never going to stop, is it?
Dewey is off the phone.
Billy was released. His cellular bill was clean. He did not make those calls.
Somebody called me Dewey. I'm not making it up.
I know. We're checking every cellular account in the county. Any calls made to you or Casey Becker are being cross-referenced. It's gonna take time, but we're gonna find him.
And my dad? Any word on him?
Dewey shakes his head no. Exterior, School Street, later. Once again, reporters line the street, attacking students as they make their way to school, asking questions, hungry for that teenage insight. Dewey's patrol jeep cruises by. Sydney watches from the passenger window. Interior patrol car. Dewey pulls up in front of the school. Tatum hops out while Sid lingers, suddenly unsure. Dewey takes notice.
Hey, it's school. You'll be safe here.
Sydney forces herself out of the jeep as a microphone is shoved in her face. How does it feel to almost be brutally murdered?
Pretty good.
Dewey leaps from the car, intercepting the reporter.
Leave the girl alone, will ya? She just wants to go to school.
Sydney eyes the news van that's pulled up behind her. The side door opens and Gail Weather steps out. Come on, Sid.
Just a sec. I need to talk to someone.
She heads over to Gail. Exterior, news van, street. Sydney puts her head down, hiding her face, avoiding other reporters as she makes her way to Gail, who sits in the open door, checking her face in a mirror. Makeup tries hard to hide Sid's handiwork, a swollen black and blue right cheek. Gail spots Sydney immediately. Sydney immediately and leaps to her feet.
Stop right there.
Sydney throws her hands up in surrender.
I'm not here to fight.
Just stay back.
I want to talk to you.
Kenny, camera, now.
Kenny's head darts out from the van.
Off the record, no cameras.
We get it.
Sydney contains herself.
Please, you owe me.
I owe you shit.
Gail moves inside the van, but Sydney is relentless.
You owe my mother.
Your mother's murder was last year's hottest court case. Somebody was gonna write a book about it.
And it had to be you with all your lies and bullshit theories.
What is your problem? You got what you wanted. Cotton Weary is in jail. You're gonna gas him. A book is not gonna change that.
Do you still think he's innocent?
Gail's interest is piqued. She eyes Sydney suspiciously.
He was convicted in a court of law. Your testimony put him away. I don't think it matters what I think. Wait, fuck. It doesn't matter what I think.
During the trial, you did all those stories about me. You called me a liar.
I thought you falsely identified him. Yes.
Have you talked to Cotton?
Many times.
Has his story changed?
Not one word. He admits to having sex with your mother, but that's all.
He's lying. She wouldn't have touched him. He butchered her. Her blood was all over his coat.
He was drunk that night. He left his coat at your house after your mother seduced him.
I saw him leaving, wearing it.
But couldn't it have been someone else? You saw him wearing that coat. Someone else you saw wearing that coat? The same person who planted it in Cotton's car, framing him. The person who really killed your mother.
A long beat. Sydney considers this for the millionth time.
No. Cotton murdered my mother.
But there's doubt in her voice. Gail's face lights up.
You're not so sure anymore, are you?
Sydney clams up.
No, it was Cotton.
Tatum comes waltzing up. Nice welt, sweetie. Gail ignores her, zeroing in on Sydney, half realising.
The killer's still on the loose, isn't he? These murders are related.
Yo, let's rock. Sydney starts to fidget.
I'm sorry I mangled your face.
She takes off with Tatum. Gail calls after her.
Wait, Sydney, don't go.
But Sydney and Tatum have already disappeared in the crowd of students moving across campus. Gail looks to Kenny.
Jesus Christ, an innocent man on death row, a killer still on the loose. Kenny, tell me I'm dreaming.
You want to go live?
Gail's mind races with possibilities.
No, not so fast. We have nothing concrete.
When did that ever stop you? You can't sit on this. This is huge.
If I'm going to blow this up, I need hard proof. If I'm right about this, I could save a man's life. Do you know what that'll do to my book sales?
Exterior street. In the front of the school, we catch up a reporter doing a live remote. He holds a mask in his hand. This morning, several students, what appear to be a prank, have been spotted wearing masks. School officials have yet to comment, but this is the same type of mask worn by the killer. Interior school hallway, minutes later. Just before the bell, the hallway is congested with students heading to class. Tatum is at her locker. Stu is hovering over her shoulder, smiling goofily.
This is a mistake. I shouldn't be here.
I want you to meet me here after class, okay?
Hey, I haven't seen Billy around. Is he really pissed?
What, you mean after you branded him the
That's not you.
Candyman?
Is he? Suppose.
What, you mean after you branded him the Candyman? No, his heart's broken.
Tatum punches him in the arm.
Ow!
Suddenly, a ghost-faced student runs down the hall, screaming at them before disappearing around a corner. Sydney jumps, terrified momentarily. Stu just laughs.
Why are they doing this?
You kidding? Look around, it's like Christmas here.
Stupidity leak, Stu! Stupidity leak! Tatum slams her locker shut as the bell rings. Interior corridor, seconds later. With first period underway, the halls have cleared. One or two struggling students can be seen rushing to class. Sydney moves quickly down the hall, rounding a corner, running smack into Billy. They collide hard, catching Sydney off ground, scaring the life out of her. She falls backwards, but Billy catches her fall.
Jesus. Shit.
Hey, it's just me.
Sydney pulls away from him quickly.
What? You don't still think it's me?
Sydney catches her breath.
No, I don't. It's just... God, Billy, someone was there. Someone tried to kill me.
Police say I scared him off. It wasn't me, Sid.
I know. He called again last night at Tatum's house.
See, it couldn't have been me. I was in jail, remember?
I'm so sorry. Please understand.
Understand what? That I got a girlfriend who would rather accuse me of being a psychopathic killer than touch me?
You know that's not true.
Then what is it? Is there somebody else?
No, it's just me, Billy. I need time. I'm still adjusting to my mom.
It's been a year since she died.
Tomorrow. 1 year tomorrow.
When are you going to let that go, Sid? When my mom left my dad, I just accepted it. This is the way it is. She's not coming back.
Your parents split up. It's not the same thing. Your mom left town. She's not in a coffin somewhere.
You have to move on, Sid.
Sydney starts to walk away but turns back angrily.
I am so sorry if my traumatized life is an inconvenience to you in your perfect existence.
Sydney disappears through a door marked girls' bathroom, leaving Billy alone in the hallway. He smacks his forehead, pissed at himself. Interior girls' bathroom, large and spacious. Closed bathroom stalls line one wall facing a row of sinks and a huge mirror. Sydney enters as two girls. Why does it say two girls tinkle and talk? That is the worst way. Who wrote this fucking script? I did not write that part, by the way.
They piss
I
him.
hate that.
Who they
I
pissing?
hate
Oh, they pissing.
Cool.
Tinkling.
Imagine going to a toilet in public. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
Imagine all the people.
Two girls tinkle and talk, each from their respective stalls. Who's playing girl 2? Did I cast girl 2?
I think that was
me.
Eve.
Alright, cool.
Alright, Sindra.
No.
Now it's time for the real hero of this movie.
Here we go. Here we fucking go.
Best character.
Let's go. She was never attacked. I think she made it all up.
Why would she lie about it?
For attention, this girl has some serious issues.
Sydney listens intently. A toilet flushes. Sydney quickly jumps in a stall, hiding, just as girl 1 appears from a stall. She looks like that voice, a snotty little twit.
That's me. What if she did it? What if Sydney killed Casey and Steve?
And why would she do that?
Maybe she was hot for Steve and killed them both in jealous rage.
Another toilet flushes.
Why would Sydney want to be with Steve? She has her own bubble butt boyfriend, Billy.
Maybe she's just a slut like her mom.
Inside the stall, Sydney listens, her face weakening.
You're evil.
Please, it's common knowledge. Her mom was a trollop.
Girl
What's a
2 appears
trollop?
from the stall. Another
Oh.
twit. They both stand in front of the
Slag.
mirror. I just fucking slag. Adjusting two snotty
Please,
faces.
her mom was a slag.
There's some slack.
Slag.
She watched her mom get butchered.
And it fucked her up royally. Think about it. It makes perfect sense. Her mom's death leaves her distraught and hostile to a cruel and inhumane world. She's disillusioned with gods and Sarah, completely suicidal. And one day she snaps. She wants to kill herself, but realizes teen suicide is out this year, and homicide is much healthier therapeutic expression.
From the stall, Sydney listens, her heart pounding, jaw quivering.
Where do you get this shit?
Ricky Lake.
The two girls exit. Sydney moves out of the stall, catching her reflection in the mirror.
Pathetic.
Water drips down from a leaky pipe as wind whistles in from the cracked the fuck does that say? Transom?
Transom.
Transom?
Trans.
Trans?
Your gender.
Trans?
Couldn't be me.
Trans rights.
It almost
Nah,
sounds like
I'm
a
against
whisper.
trans rights.
Sydney.
Sydney spins around. What the... She checks out the bathroom. The doors to the stalls are all closed. She bends down and scans beneath them, looking for feet. No one. Nothing. Sydney turns back to the mirror. Suddenly,
Sydney.
unmistakable this time, the voice strikes Sydney like a nail through the eye. It comes from one of the stalls. She stands, thunderstruck, eyeing the stalls through the mirror.
Is someone there?
A long, morose silence, and then
It's me, Sydney.
Sydney spins around. Fuck no, he's here. Terror floods her. She eyes the exit door, then the row of stalls she must pass to get to it. She checks under the stalls again. Nothing. Where the fuck is he? Then she takes a step forward when 2 feet step down from a toilet onto the floor in the last stall. Sydney's face draws tight as the stall door begins to creak open. She bolts forward, making a break for it, but slips on the wet floor, her feet flying out from under her. Sydney reaches out, grabs a hold of the sink, saves herself from falling. She glimpses a ghost mask in the mirror coming for her. A hand grabs her shoulder as she slams her body through the exit door, narrowly escaping. Interior corridor continuous. Sydney flies out of the bathroom door, screaming, burning up the hallway, not looking back. A teacher, hearing her scream, peers out from an open doorway as Sydney sprints by him, not stopping, running madly. Interior principal's office continuous. Close on a red-faced Principal Henry as he reads someone the riot act. Did I cast Henry earlier and I've just forgotten?
I believe it was Reese.
It's you. Yeah. I thought it was you.
Henry was you. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because you were, yeah.
I'm sickened. Your whole havoc-inducing, thieving, whoring generation disgusts me. The camera swings around to reveal 2 ghost mask students standing at attention. Mr. Hembry rips the mask off one of the students' heads. 2 students have been savagely murdered, and this is how we express our compassion and sensitivity? He rips the mask off the other student. We throw on a mask and dance around campus, just hoping someone else gets butchered before we get bored again. You're both expelled. The ghosts doth protest.
Oh, come on,
Who's the
Mr.
ghost?
Hembry, it was just a joke. Yeah, that's not fair.
A deep-rooted hostility is taking over Mr. Hembry's face. Neither student budges, scared to even breathe. No, it's not fair. Fairness would be to rip your insides out and hang you from a tree so you could be exposed for the desensitized, heartless little shits that you are. Suddenly the door busts open, and Sydney appears, hysterical.
He's here. I saw him. He's here.
Mr. Hembry rushes to her, arms outstretched. Easy, child. Sydney collapses in his arms. Exterior, School Street, minutes later. Dewey's patrol jeep is parked in front of the school. He stands in the open driver's door, talking on the radio.
She's okay. Looks like some boys were teasing her. Hembry's shutting down the school, though. I want you to take a look around.
Yes, sir, Chef.
Dewey shuts the jeep door and heads for campus when Gail Weathers appears, her fake face aglow.
Hi, Gail Weathers, field correspondent. Inside story.
I know who you are, ma'am. How's the eye?
So they're closing down school?
Well, yes, ma'am, for the time being.
Dewey heads for the school building. Gail scurries along beside him, flirtatiously.
Why? And why is that? Has something happened?
You're not supposed to be here, ma'am.
I know, I should be in New York covering the Sharon Stone stalker, but who knew? Please, call me Gail. You look awfully young to be a police officer.
Dewey's eyes wander down to Gail's long legs, the way her hips move as she walks. He's clearly distracted.
I'm 25 years old, ma'am.
25, huh? In a demographic study, I proved to be most popular amongst males 11 to 24. I just missed you. Of course, you don't look a day over 12, except in the upper torso area. Does the force require that you work out?
Dewey looks away, blushing a bit.
No, ma'am. Because of my boyish good looks, muscle mass has increased my acceptance as a serious police officer.
They approach the school's front entrance. Suddenly, Mr. Hembry's voice is amplified through intercoms across campus via the PA system. They stop to listen. Your attention, please. Due to recent events that have occurred and until it comes to resolve, effective immediately, all classes are suspended until further notice. The Bayborough Police Department has also asked me to announce a citywide curfew beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. I repeat, Gail speaks over Mr. Hembry's voice.
Oh, you people sure do make a fuss over a serial killer.
Serial killer is not really accurate, ma'am. The killer is yet to strike twice.
Well, we can hope, can't we? We certainly don't have any leads. A ghost mask, a cellular phone, not much there.
We're tracking the cellular phone bill.
Really? You small-time guys are good. Have you located Sydney's father?
No, not yet.
He's not a suspect, is he?
We haven't ruled out that possibility.
Dewey, realizing he said too much, clams up.
If you'll excuse me, ma'am.
Am I keeping you? I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. If I may say so, ma'am, you're much prettier in person.
Dewey starts up the school's front steps as the bell rings.
So, do you watch the show?
He turns to her earnestly as students come pouring out of the front doors.
I just turned 25. I was 24 for a whole year.
You are precious. Please, call me Gail.
She smiles deliciously, gives him a wink, and then struts off as Dewey, like a nervous little schoolboy, watches her go. Interior, school corridor, seconds later. School is clearing out. The halls have begun to empty as Tatum escorts Sydney down the hallway. It was just Let me start that again. It was just some sick fuck having a laugh.
It was him, Tatum. I know it.
Tatum wants to believe her, but... You are not to be alone again. Is that clear? Stu appears.
Salutations, fellas. Is that not cool or what? He said, what happened?
For once, Stu, drop it.
Okay, but whatever you did, the entire student body thanks you.
Studi? Who the fuck's Studi? Studi? Stu moves to Tatum and gives her a kiss.
Mwah. No, wait, you're this way. Mwah. And to celebrate this impromptu fall break, I propose we have a party tonight, my house.
Are you serious?
My parents are out of town, and as long as the little vixen doesn't invite the entire world, we'll be fine. Intimate gathering. Intimate friends.
Tatum warms to the idea. This could be good. What do you think, Sid?
I don't know.
Come on, pathos has its perks. Sydney considers trying hard to be good-spirited.
I'll totally protect you, yo. I'm so buff. I got you covered.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Cool. See you guys tonight. Bring food.
Stu speeds off, sliding down the empty hallway. I like to think that he just got on his ass and actually slid down like real fast, and they were just like, I didn't know he could do that.
He has little feet on his ass that scurry along the place.
They're like,
No.
But he just runs and just.
let's never talk about this again.
I ruin everything.
No, I was saying that like Tatum and Sydney are like, we can't mention this ever again. Interior principal's office later. Mr. Hembry sits at his desk,
Mr. Hembo.
staring at the ghost mask before him. He picks one of them up, snickering. Damn. He stands and moves to the closet next to his office door. He pulls it open to reveal a mirror hooked inside the door. He tries the mask on, pulling it over his face, looking in the mirror when a knock at the door stops him. He rips the mask off his head. He turns to the office door and it opens to reveal an empty doorway. He pokes his head into the outer office area and looks around, but no one's there. Yes? Hello? The place is empty. A little suspicious, he closes the door, catching his reflection in the closet mirror. He looks at the mask in his hands. Jesus, even he's jumpy. 2 seconds later, another knock at the door. Hembry grabs the door quickly, this time throwing it open. Again, no one's there. He steps out into the outer office, determined to catch this prankster. Interior outer office, continuous. Completely empty. Mr. Hembry moves to the outer office and into the school corridor. The overhead lights have been turned off, and the corridor is now dark and deserted. He looks up and down the hall. Only a janitor is seen in the distance pushing a broom. Oh, shit. Mr. Hembry returns to his office. Interior office, continuous. Hembry re-enters the office, moving to his desk when he spots the closet door, now closed shut. This gives him a pause. He had left it open, hadn't he? Suddenly, he can't remember. He shifts, uneasy, reaching for the doorknob, pulling it open to reveal an empty closet. He stands still a moment, suddenly realizing someone could easily now be standing behind the open closet door. Nervously, he pushes it shut to reveal nothing. Hembry shakes away his jitters, realizing he's spooked himself. He continues to his desk, pushing his office door shut when a ghost masked figure lunges from behind it, a knife in hand. Quick and easy, 3 jabs to the stomach and Hembry goes down, the ghost masked figure towering above him. Exterior, Tatum's house, afternoon, later.
Pathetic.
The late afternoon sun is quickly disappearing. Tatum and Sydney rock on the front porch looking out into the small town neighbourhood. Dewey's patrol jeep is parked in the driveway. Despite loud music blaring from an inside stereo, this is a quiet moment. Maybe Cotton Weary's telling the truth. Maybe he was having an affair with
Cotton Query.
So you think my mom was a slut too?
I didn't say that. But, there were rumors. Your dad was always out of town on business. Maybe your mom was just a very unhappy woman.
If they were having an affair, how come that Cotton couldn't prove it in court?
You can't prove a rumor. That's why it's a rumor.
Created by the little tabloid twit Gail Weathers.
It goes back further, Sid. There's always been talk about other men.
You believe it?
Well, you can only hear that Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to start believing it. A long silence as Sydney agonizes over all of this. She stands up and moves to the edge of the porch and stares out onto the neighborhood.
Gerbil up her ass.
If I was wrong, Cotton, then he's still out there.
Don't go there, Sid. You're starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick. Don't freak yourself out. We have got a long night ahead of us.
You're right. I'm cracking. No. You're
You're
right. I'm
crapping.
cracking up. Ignore me.
Come on,
You're
let's
crapping?
rock.
Crapping.
Sid follows
crapping.
Tatum inside the house, never seeing the ghost masked figure that stands across the street under a tree. Exterior Main Street later.
I like to think it actually waved.
Hi.
Hi,
Oh,
Ghostface.
Maybe he wanted
I'm
her
your
to
new
see him.
best friend.
Maybe he was standing there like, oh, she didn't
Oh,
see me.
Oh, she was waving at the person behind me.
She didn't. Okay, I get
Sydney
it.
pretends she doesn't see it.
I pretend
It's like-
I do. I pretend I do not see it. Ooh, what if I stabbed you?
I want to
Are
kill
you guys ready for the scene that's the gayest shit I've ever seen, and it wasn't put in the actual movie, but it was put in the original script?
Yes.
Since it's spilling stew, can I pretend to kiss him?
If you
Just
want.
'cause
Yeah.
that'd be well funny. Hell yeah!
Exterior Main Street
Gay.
later. Stu's moving along a main street when Billy comes barreling up next to him.
How'd you do?
Piece of cake. She'll be there.
Thanks, asshole. You did good.
You're gonna try and make up with Sid?
Duh, that's quick.
I was just asking why are you always at me?
Because I'm trying to build your self-esteem. You're far too sensitive.
Oh.
Billy thumbs Stu's forehead.
You ready to party hard tonight?
You know it. Fist bump. I'll see you bros in the next video.
Fuck off.
My name is PewDiePie.
Hey, what's up, big guys? Yes.
God.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Stu here.
You would.
I'm
Stu
PewDiePie.
would.
Just
Have
all
been.
YouTuber shit. They come to a
Screenbut's just
building
YouTube's.
centrally located in the heart of Main Street, a huge blue monstrosity that's bigger than the local bank and the post office combined. The sign
That's
in
what my
front
parents
reads,
call me.
the sign in front reads Blockbuster.
Not Buster.
Interior Blockbuster, continuous. Your typical Blockbuster, you know. Blockbuster, the thing that ended before I was even born. Huge
Hey, when
and
did
crowded.
they go out of business?
Like,
I dropped something, it's fine.
I was like 99 or 98, I think.
Oh,
no, that
that's
was the
like
year I was
4
born.
years. That's 4 years. Oh, you're the oldest here. Kick him out. He's a pedo.
Cool.
He's
Hey,
hanging around with kids.
oldest. Hey, shame him.
Pedo.
Shame, shame,
Bully.
shame,
Bully.
shame, shame, shame.
Shun. That's it. I'm getting
Typical
me mallet.
Blockbuster, huge and crowded. Randy in his Blockbuster getup is busy reshelving returns when Stu appears, knocking the videos out of his hand.
Jesus, this place is packed.
We had a run in the mass murder section.
You coming tonight?
Yeah, I'm off early. Curfew, you know. Now that's poor taste.
What?
Randy refers to Billy, who stands down the aisle, talking to two girls. The twits from the bathroom, perhaps.
If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section?
It was all a misunderstanding. He didn't do anything.
You're such a little lapdog. He's got killer printed all over his forehead.
I'm Daddy's little lapdog. Wait, can
Where's
you
the
like?
knife?
I'm gonna pin you down like Trexel done to David. Just write killer on your head.
Yeah.
So then, why did the police let him go, smart guy?
Because obviously they don't watch enough movies. This is
Obviously.
standard horror movie stuff. Prom Night Revisited.
Randy moves down the aisle, reshelving videos.
Why would he want to kill his own girlfriend?
There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend. That's the beauty of it. Simplicity. Besides, if it's too complicated, you could lose your target audience.
So what's his reason?
Maybe Sydney wouldn't have sex with him.
She's saving herself for you?
Could be. Now that Billy's tried to mutilate her, you think Sid would go out with me?
No, I don't. Like, at all. No. I think her father did it. How come they can't find his ass?
Because he's
Like, we
probably
can find the rest
dead.
of it, just not his ass.
Because he's probably dead. His body would come popping out in the last reel somewhere, eyes gouged out. See, the police are always off track with this shit. If they'd watch Prom Night, they'd save time. There's a formula to it, a very simple one. Everyone's a suspect.
A formula.
How do we know you're not the killer?
Randy spins around to find Billy right behind him. Busted. Stu hangs over Randy's shoulder. He's now trapped between them both.
Hi, Billy.
Maybe your movie freaked mind lost its reality button?
You're absolutely right. I'm the first to admit it. If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect.
And what would be your motive?
It's 95. Motives are incidental.
1950-95.
Incidental, huh? Yeah, I like that. You're a good kid.
Billy pats Randy's cheek, giving Stu a sly smile before leaving. Randy lets out a sigh of relief, turning back to Stu.
And you're telling me that's not a killer?
A little later, Dewey's patrol jeep makes its way down Main Street. It's almost dark. The street is close to deserted. Interior, patrol jeep continuous. Dewey's behind the wheel having a heated conversation with Tatum, while Sid stares out the window.
A party? Mom's gonna kill you! Then me.
Don't be so self-righteous.
Then
It's just a
Ghostface.
little blowout. We'll be perfectly safe. Sid stares out the window. A closed sign fills the storefronts. A few people rush to their car in a hurry to beat curfew.
God, look at this place. It's a town of dreaded sundown.
Hey, I saw that movie. True story about some killer in Texas.
Hey Sid, if they make a movie, who's gonna play you?
Oh God, I shudder to think.
Dewey comes to a stop, parking the car in front of the police
Apparently
station.
Eve
He looks
Mitchell.
to Sid with a brotherly smile.
I see you as a young Meg Ryan myself.
I see her as an Eve Mitchell.
Thanks, Dewey, but with my luck, they'll cast Tori Spelling.
Exterior, patrol jeep continuous.
Who?
They pile out of the jeep.
Who
Dewey
are-
heads for the station.
I'll just be a few minutes. Don't go far.
The girls take off for the local supermarket that sits across the street.
Is Billy going to be at her tonight?
He better not be. I told Stu to keep his mouth shut. I think we can live without the endorphin rush for one night, huh? One night, not one right. They approach the grocery store, small and simple. Sid and Tatum grab a shopping cart from the bin and enter the store, pushing the cart through two sliding glass doors. They make a beeline for the junk food section. Just as the automated doors slide shut behind them, and a ghost mask figure appears out of nowhere, standing just outside, watching quietly through the glass store windows. Sydney and Tatum push a basket through the junk food section. The store is completely empty. The girls grab freely.
Billy's right. Whenever he touches me, I just can't relax.
So you have a few intimacy issues as a result of your mother's untimely death. It's no big deal. You'll thaw out.
But he's been so patient with me, Tatum. You know, with all the sex stuff. How many guys would put up with a girlfriend who's sexually anorexic?
Billy and his penis
like
don't
other
deserve
girls.
you. Sydney
I don't
grabs
like
some
other
chips
girls.
and
I'm
salsa.
sexually anorexic.
Sydney grabs some chips and salsa from the shelf down the aisle. Sydney grabs some chips and salsa from the shelf. Down the aisle, through the storefront window, the ghost-masked figure still stands, watching their every move. Exterior
I
police
see you doing
station.
that just off camera.
Sheriff's office. Sheriff Burke's face heats up as Deputy Riley marches in hurriedly.
Hey, where the hell have you been, boy?
Keep my eye on Sydney.
Listen up, Dewey, because it's bad, real bad. Aircomp just faxed us. The calls were listed to Neil Prescott, Sydney's father. He made the calls with his cellular phone. It's confirmed.
Couldn't his cellular number have been cloned?
There's more. Guess what tomorrow is? The anniversary of his wife's death. It all fits. He's our man.
Have you contacted the Bureau?
They believe he's out of state by now. We're keeping the roadblocks and curfew in effect throughout the night. If he's not picked up by morning, we'll do a house-to-house.
You think he could still be in town?
You'd have to be crazy. Where's Sydney?
She's with my sister. Should I bring her in?
Hold off for now. Just stay close to her.
She'll be with her friend over at Stu Major's tonight.
Watch her.
Marker. Is it Marker?
Maker.
I don't know.
Maker.
I'm the
She'll be with
maker.
her friends over at Stew Maker's tonight.
Watch her. Don't let on. Just keep your eyes out.
Yes, sir.
Exterior, country road, night. Dewey's
Take me
Jeep
home.
don't. Dewey's Jeep makes its way down a long, winding road. Headlights illuminate the thick woods that line each side. Following behind them at a discreet distance is a huge white news van. Dewey comes to the end of the road. It dead ends at Stu's house, which sits alone in a clearing, big and ominous with no neighbours in sight. A huge old home just ripe for a night of fun and terror. From the looks of things, the party has already started. Music is blaring. A few kids hang on the porch. Interior living room, a few minutes later. A big room with kids sprinkled throughout, smoking, drinking, cutting up. A stereo blasts music while the TV airs around. A stereo blasts music whilst the TV airs around the clock killer coverage. Tatum and Sid enter with groceries. Various friends greet them. Cater is here. The girls carry bags through the hallway that opens up into an enormous kitchen. Stu and some guys are leaning over the sink, drinking beer through a funnel. That's mature.
Where have you guys been? We had to start without you.
Exterior, Stu's house, road. The news van pulls up and parks unobtrusively on the side of the road a few feet down from the yard. Interior, news van. Kenny and Gail move around inside the van. Kenny hovers over a control panel complete with video monitors.
What's the plan?
Prep the compact. We'll hide it in a window and tape all of tonight's festivities.
Kenny picks up a compact video camera the size of his fist. He checks its battery pack.
The control board's glitched. You know, we can't carry a live picture.
What's the delay?
About 30 seconds.
As long as it records, I don't give a shit. We're not doing a remote.
Gail slides open the side door and steps out into the darkness, not seeing the figure that stands behind her. A hand grabs her shoulder. Gail's heart stops as she spins around to find Dewey, smiling, extremely pleased to see her.
Evening, ma'am.
Deputy. Good evening.
What brings you out to these parts?
You never know when or where a story will break.
Not much story here, just a bunch of kids cutting loose.
Then what are you doing here?
Keeping an eye on things, checking the place out.
Mind if I join you?
Dewey considers...
Not at all.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Gail leans in the van, grabs the camera from Kenny's hand and throws it in her bag. She gives Kenny a wink. Interior, kitchen. Close on a microwave, popcorn pops inside. Camera widens to reveal Sid, Stu and Tatum moving about the kitchen, preparing a junk food feast. Other teens pop in and out. Randy appears amongst them. He carries an armful of videos.
I thought we'd make it a blockbuster night.
He lets the videos splatter across the kitchen counter. Stu and Tatum dive in.
Thought everything was checked out.
I had hid him in the foreign section.
Sydney peruses the videos.
The Fog, Terror Train, Prom Night. How come Jamie Lee Curtis is in all of these movies?
She's the Scream Queen.
With that set of lungs, she should be.
Tits, see?
Tits.
Interior living room, a few minutes later. The party is still going strong. 10, maybe 15 people stand, sit, lean. Some crowd around the floor in front of the television. Randy is taking a vote. Oh my god, Eve! That's so cool!
Holy, what the hell?
Wait.
Is that like
Yeah.
LEDs?
Yeah, my LEDs.
I wonder, I'm curious. Will this work? Will this work?
They're on strobe.
Oh, fuck,
This
it
is
does
as good
not
as you can
work.
get.
It doesn't work. Heck. 1 second.
That hurts my
I'll
heart.
edit
I can
in
fix
some
this.
cool 90s music here. Royalty free
I'm going
90s
to turn my light
music.
back on. Royalty free 90s ukulele.
Interior living room, a few minutes later. The party is still going strong. 10, maybe 15 people stand, sit, lean. Some crowd around the floor in front of the television. Randy is taking a vote.
How many Evil Deads? How many
Me.
Hellraisers?
Ooh, Hellraiser. That's
The
great.
doorbell rings. Stu goes for it.
I got it. Tatum, get me another beer, would you?
What am I, the beer wench?
Hey, guess who's here? It's that chick from Inside Story.
They look up the hallway to see Dewey and Gail standing in the foyer. Shit, Dewey! Everyone perks up, eyeing Gail. What is she doing here?
She's with me. I just wanted to check on things.
The guys in the room are drooling over Gail, including Stu. So you did. Now leave and take your media stuff with you. Tatum takes off for the kitchen.
Media muff.
Gail has quickly become the focus of the party. All eyes are on her.
Who's some teen?
Who's some teen?
I watch your show regularly.
That must be used to be on Inside Story. Huge.
Want to interview us?
We could be like two grief-stricken students, and we'll say really nice thing about our good friends who were slaughtered senselessly.
I can cry on cue.
Gail eyes the bookshelf above the television.
Maybe later.
Suddenly, Gail starts to cough.
Can I trouble you for some water? How about a beer? Randy, get the lady a beer.
You get it.
This is hard.
Gail slips the camera from her bag, hits the on switch, and holds it behind her, waiting for the right moment. Back in the foyer.
Have they found my father?
Right, not.
Should I be worried?
Not yet.
Interior kitchen. Tatum is alone in the
I'm
kitchen.
not in this
She
for a bit, so I'm
empties.
going to disappear.
What? Oh, okay.
Fuck's sake. Like,
I wish I had a ghost face mask. That would have been so good.
Or
I
should I have a
know,
pogger's
same.
mask?
Interior kitchen. Tatum is alone in the kitchen. She empties popcorn into a bowl, then pulls open the refrigerator. Looks quickly, then remembers. She moves through the adjoining laundry room to the interior garage. The kitchen door opens and light floods the darkened garage. Tatum stands in the doorway searching for a light switch. She finds a button and hits it. Boom! The electric garage door starts to rise.
Door
Wrong
goes
switch.
burr.
She hits it again and it closes. She finds another switch. Click. A small light bulb overhead comes on, barely lighting the large two-car garage, leaving pockets of shadows along the wall. Tatum spots the refrigerator against a far wall and heads for it, not seeing the kitchen door, quietly, slowly closing behind her. Tatum's... fuck me.
I would rather not.
Tatum spots the refrigerator against a far wall and heads for it. Okay, I've read that bit. Fuck me, I lost my place.
I'd rather not again. Please stop telling me to fuck you.
Sealing her off from the rest of the house. Tatum stumbles to the refrigerator and throws it open. Its light casts a glow across her face. Crash! Boom! Tatum jumps, spinning around just in time to see a cat escape through the large pet door that's built into the garage door. She smiles at her jumpiness. Tatum loads up with as many beer as her hands will carry and heads back into the kitchen. At the kitchen door, she juggles the beer, reaching for the knob. It's locked. Shit! She kicks it with her foot several times. Hey! Shitheads! A moment, no answer. Oh shit, fuck. Tatum leans over and, with her elbow, hits the garage door button. Boom! It begins to rise.
Garage door goes burr.
She moves through the rising door, beer in hand. Suddenly, boom! The garage door resets, reversing direction, moving down, closing. What the Tatum spins around to see a ghost-masked figure, silhouetted in the dark, next to the kitchen door, his hand on the switch. Tatum at once gasps, taken aback, but then realizes, is that you, Randy? Cute. The figure stares at her blankly. And what movie is this from? I spit on your garage. Tatum takes a step towards the figure. Lose the mask, okay? If Sydney sees it, she'll flip. The figure shakes his head slowly from side to side. Oh, you want to play psycho killer? The figure slowly nods. Can I be the helpless victim? The figure slowly nods again. Okay, let's see. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. Tatum takes a step to move around the figure, but he steps two, blocking her. Cut, Casper, that's a wrap. Tatum moves again, sidestepping the figure, but he's faster and cuts her off. Tatum juggles the beer against her chest with one hand and, with the other, pushes the figure hard, knocking him aside. Randy, will you stop? But as the figure intercepts, lunging forward, grabbing her wrist, hard, Tatum stumbles, beer cans hit the floor, spewing. You little shit! Tatum yanks hard, releasing his hold when a flash of silver catches her eye. She looks down, glimpsing a long, sharp blade as it darts forward, cutting into her forearm. Tatum pulls back, horrified, as the moment turns deadly serious. The figure advances on her, knife out, ready. She staggers backwards, holding her bloody arm, backing into the refrigerator, screaming, "Who are you?" The figure lashes out with a knife. Tatum dodges it, leaping back against the fridge. The figure advances. Instinctively, she rips the top freezer door open, bashing the figure in the face, sending him backwards, reeling. Tatum bolts the closed garage door. In a panic, she beats and pulls on it, trying to make it lift. She eyes the figure. He's recovering. She goes for the pet door, dropping to the floor, diving for it. She wedges her upper body through, her head, shoulders, torso, just as the figure pounces, grabbing a hold of her feet. Tatum goes crazy, screaming and kicking, trying to get through. Exterior garage door. Tatum is half in, half out the pet door. She beats and jerks wildly, unable to see the figure on the other side. A true fighter, Tatum kicks hard, making direct contact with the figure, knocking him away. She takes a moment to pull herself through further, but she stops, stuck. She pulls and tugs, but can't move. She listens, but hears nothing. Where did he go? An agonizing silence, and then... Kerboom! The garage door is activated. It begins to rise upwards, taking Tatum with it. She screams madly, "No!" Tatum's arms and legs fly about violently as she tries to free herself from the door, but it moves too fast, carrying her up. She looks above to see where the door rolls back into the garage rafters, just as her neck hits the first beam, snapping instantly. Interior, foyer, minutes later. It's getting late and some kids leave through the front door, muttering parents and curfew, etc. The door hangs open wide. Sydney moves to close it when Billy appears in a classic fake scare.
Hey, Jesus, you scared me.
Stu appears.
Oh, hey, Billy. I wonder what you're doing here.
I was hoping Sid and I could talk.
If Tatum sees you, she'll draw blood.
You guys can go up to my parents' room to talk and whatever.
Subtlety, Stu. Look it up.
It's okay, we do need to talk.
Sid grabs his hand and leads him up the staircase. Randy appears from the kitchen just in time to see Sid and Biddy. Big old biddies. Randy appears from the kitchen.
Oh, Billy Bitties.
Billy Boomus.
Billy Bickle.
Billy Boomus and Scrungy Funkus. And Randy appears from the kitchen just in time to see Sid and Billy disappear upstairs.
What's the Leatherface doing here?
He came to make up.
There goes my chance with Sid.
As if he even had one.
Interior news van. Kenny fidgets at the control. I'm so sorry, Reese.
This is so annoying.
Kenny.
I know, I should have double casted like other people. Like, I don't know why your typecast is like dads,
the guy,
dads and the guy. Oh my god, it's the guy who did like musicals.
It's the guy who did like music,
How'd you guys know my MO?
Kenny, you piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Kenny's wholesome. Gail's the piece of shit.
Yeah, Gail is a
Gail, you piece of shit. Okay.
Interior news van.
Oh,
Kenny fidgets at the control board. He hits a couple of buttons, bangs the side of the monitor, and a picture emerges, the living room. The camera is positioned just above the television. On screen, the party is in full swing. Several teens sit right in front of the television. Because of the camera's position, they appear to be staring right into the lens. Suddenly, the van's door slides open and Gail pops in.
Got a picture. Perfect placement. We can see everything.
Gail is ecstatic.
Tell me, Kenny, has a cheesy tabloid journalist ever won a Pulitzer?
Interior bedroom. A large master bedroom with glass doors that lead out into a balcony. Sid and Billy stare at each other for a long moment, awkward.
So,
I'm sorry. I've been a selfish shit, and I'm sorry.
No, Billy, I'm the one who's been selfish and self-absorbed with all my post-traumatic stress.
You lost your mom.
But you're right, enough is enough. I can't wallow in the grief. Shut the fuck up.
Rude.
But you're right, enough is enough. I can't wallow in the grief process forever, and I can't keep lying to myself about who my mom was.
Billy bows his head quietly, knowingly.
I think in some weird, analytical, psychological bullshit way, I'm scared I'm gonna turn out just like her. You know?
Sluts.
Like the bad seed or something.
Oh, Sydney.
Every time I get close to you, I see my mom. I know it doesn't make sense.
Sure it does. It's like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs, like when she kept having flashbacks of her dead father.
But this is life. This isn't a movie.
Sure it is, Sid. It's all a movie. Life's one great big movie, only you can't pick your genre.
Billy moves to her. They embrace tenderly.
Credge. Credge. That's
Wanna
such a
let go.
cringe line.
I do.
Everything's going to be okay. I promise.
Sydney takes the initiative, acting on impulse, kissing him long and hard. She breaks away passionately, out of breath.
Why can't I be a Meg Ryan movie?
Billy nibbles her neck.
Vor. Billy bores her neck.
It's okay.
Even a good porno.
What?
She stares at him. Her eyes are sexually charged.
Why do you have sexually charged eyes?
Like,
You heard me.
Are you serious?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think so.
they smile at each other. Interior, living room. Minutes later, the camera sits on the bookshelf lodged between two knickknacks, completely inconspicuous. The camera widens to reveal... The camera widens to reveal several teens watching the TV, the horror diehards.
Look, here it comes. Splat!
Blood's not the right colour. Why did they do that? It's too red.
Here comes another.
Predictable. I knew he was gonna bite it.
How can you watch this shit over and over?
Shh.
I want to see Jamie Lee's breasts. When did we see Jamie Lee's breasts?
Not until Trading Places in '83. Jamie Lee was always the virgin in horror movies. She didn't show her tits until she went legit.
No way.
That's why she always lived. Only virgins can outsmart the killer in the big chase in the scene at the end. Don't you know the rules?
Stu finishes his beer.
What rule?
Just roll. Just
Know
shuts
the
off.
rules?
Have an aneurysm, why don't you?
Randy hits the pause button on the remote and stands in front of the television, explaining.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex.
I'm a dead man then.
I'm serious. The minute you get a little nookie, you're as good as gone. Sex always equals death. Number 2, never drink or do drugs.
Ugh.
It's an extension of number 1. And 3, never, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be right back.
Want another beer?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Ooh.
See, you push the laws and then you end up dead. I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife.
Yeah, in your
Interior.
throat.
News van, continuous. Gail and Kenny watch the monitor. The party is clearing out some. A rap at the van door. Gail pulls it open to see Deputy Riley standing, his face all smiles.
Quick change.
Sheriff just
Quick change,
radioed
quick
me.
change.
I'm gonna check out for
I'm
a
too
possible lead. Thought you might like to join me.
What kind of lead?
A car was spotted in the bushes a little ways up the road.
I'd love to if you're sure it's alright.
Ma'am, I am the deputy of this town.
Can I bring Kenny?
No. I mean, I should probably just take you.
Gail
Cut boy
steps out of
Kenny.
the van, turning back to Kenny.
I'll be back.
She slides the van door closed. Exterior road, continuous. Gail heads for Dewey's patrol jeep.
Actually, I thought we could walk. It's not far.
Gail appears skeptical, but smiles anyway. She's genuinely smitten by this young guy. Interior,
I'm
living
so
room,
smitten
seconds
by
later. Back in the living room, the horror fest continues when the phone rings. Everyone ignores it. It rings again. Finally, Randy grabs the receiver from the side table.
Hello? Yeah?
Yo, right
Holy shit!
Randy, freaked, drops the phone, finds the TV remote and pauses the movie. The others protest. Hey, put it back, etc.
Listen up. They found Principal... Listen up! They found Principal Henry dead. He was gutted and hung from the goalpost on the football field.
This stills the room, complete silence as the news sinks in. On different faces, a moment of devastation, disbelief, and then... So what are we waiting for?
Let's get over there before they pry him
down.
down. Sorry.
Nailed it.
No, that was twins that said it at the exact same
Wait,
time.
let's try that again. Let's get over
there before they...
Bruh! Okay,
They're so excited to get over there before they pry him down.
1. Let's get over...
You just said
It's because Zoom had a delay. It's fine. You ain't gonna be able to do anything in sync.
Right, let's try it again.
Okay.
It won't work.
Ignore me.
I don't care. Wait, you count down, Indrid.
Why me? Oh
Because
yeah,
then there's
okay,
not a-
sure. 3.
Count.
Do it on go. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, go.
Let's
Let's
get
go
over there before they pry him down.
Close enough.
Great.
There's
In
triplets
10
now.
seconds, the room is empty as everyone bolts for the door, hooting and hollering,
I've always
leaving
liked
Randy
it.
near drunk,
Hoot,
alone
holler,
in the
hoot.
living room.
Hoot, holler.
Hoot, 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 holler, holler, holler.
It's
He returns to the
genders,
movie.
hooting and hollering.
I'm hooting.
Get to the good part.
Interior
I'm
news
trans
van. Minutes
hollering.
later, Kenny is barely watching the monitor. He reached boredom some time ago. He finds a bag of Cheetos and chows down when he hears screaming from outside. He peers out the window to see the last of the party kids pile into 2 cars and race off down the road. He chews a Cheeto slowly, his interest piqued. Interior bedroom. Minutes later, the sex is over,
I'd like
and
it
both
to
Sid and
stick
Billy are
nuts to
dressing
death.
respectively. That post-sex awkwardness. Sid brushes out
Oh,
her
yeah,
hair
they did
as
so
her
well.
eyes
Fluff
come
off.
to rest on the telephone on the nightstand. It puzzles her as a stark revelation crosses her face. She turns to Billy, who sits on the floor, putting on his shoes.
Who did you call?
What?
When you're arrested, you're allowed 1 phone call. Who did you call?
I called my dad.
No, Sheriff Burke called your dad. I saw him.
Yeah, and when I called, no one answered.
Uh-huh.
You don't still think it was me?
No, but if it were you, that would have been a really clever way to throw me off. Using your 1 phone call to call me, so I wouldn't even think it was you.
Billy stands up.
What do I have to do to prove to you I'm not a killer?
Be the same room as the killer.
He makes a move towards her when, from behind, in a split instant, from the open balcony doors comes the ghost figure. Sydney sees the figure immediately, screaming. Billy tries to calm her, oblivious to the advancing ghost.
Billy, watch out!
Billy barely turns as a long, steely blade rises high in the air. It strikes down with force, hitting his chest as blood sprays in the air. On Sydney, as red crimson splatters across her face as the knife is thrust in and out of Billy, who tries hard to put up a fight, but it's useless.
It's nice
He
with
never had a
cock.
chance. His body falls to the floor, lifeless. Angle on ghost face. He watches Billy's body come to a still before quietly, calmly turning his attention towards Sydney, who stands, numb, scared to death. And only when the ghost takes a step forward does Sydney break. She takes off like a rocket, leaping over the bed and out the door. Interior hallway continuous. Sydney tears out the door and down the hall, coated in Billy's blood. Angle on the ghost as he catches up with her, grabbing a hold of her collar. She pulls away from him, her shirt ripping down the back. Her hands find a doorknob and she goes for it, pulling the door open, moving quickly inside, locking it behind her. Interior, dark space, continuous. Total darkness. Sydney's hands scour the wall for a light switch. The doorknob turns, the lock holds, as the door is nearly shaken from its hinges. And then, nothing. All goes silent. Only Sydney's rapid breathing fills the space around her. Sydney, trembling, shaking, reaches above her, feeling until she finds a string. She pulls it as a light bulb switches on overhead. She's in a small box of a room. The door is on one side, a small, narrow staircase on the other. She eyes the doorknob, then the staircase, contemplating. But it's an easy decision. There's no fucking way she's going up to the attic. She unlocks the door and pushes on it, but it won't give. She pushes on it again. It's locked from the other side. Shit. She turns to the staircase. Exterior, dark road, continuous. A long, deserted country road. In the distance, a single flashlight beams ahead, the only light in the black night. Gail and Dewey can be heard.
So is Dewey your real name?
Dwight, Jew was something I got stuck with a long time ago.
I like it. It's sexy.
Nah, it's just this town's way of not taking me serious.
What about Gail Weathers? You sound like a meteorologist.
Close on Gail and Dewey, walking closely side by side, flirtatiously. Gail is surprisingly nervous.
You will treat me like the Antichrist of television journalism.
I don't think you're so bad.
All the local boys as sweet as you.
Dewey blushes. He starts to say something when headlights appear behind them. They both spin as two cars loaded with kids come racing right at them. Dewey grabs Gail and pushes her off the road just as the cars speed by, oblivious to them. In the ditch, Gail lands face up with Dewey right on top of her. He steals
I
a
don't
glance
like
in her
kids go
eyes
to the
before
ditch.
rolling off of her.
You okay?
Something takes Gail's attention.
What's that?
Dewey looks to where Gail points. He finds the flashlight and aims it into the bush. The tail end of a car is just visible.
Looks like a car.
Dewey helps her up and they move to it. He shines the flashlight on the plates, but it's already obvious to the camera. This is the same car we last saw Sydney's father driving away in.
Shit, it's Neil Prescott's car.
Sydney's father?
We gotta get back. Jesus, he's here. What the fuck is he doing here?
Dewey is panicked. He grabs Gail and they race off down the road. Interior, living room, continuous. Randy continues to watch TV. He is now sloppy drunk, completely involved in the movie on the screen. Scary music swells, filling the room.
No, Jamie, look behind you. Watch out behind you.
And if he followed his own advice, he would see the ghost mask figure that stands directly behind him, knife poised. Interior, news van, continuous. Kenny finishes off a soda and crushes the can in his hand. He tosses it to the floor when a movement from the monitor catches his eye. On the monitor is Randy, still on the couch, engrossed in the movie. Directly behind him, the ghost. Kenny does a double take. No fucking way. He watches as the ghost stands still, unmoving, knife raised.
Jesus fuck.
The ghost takes a silent step forward.
Behind you! Look behind you!
This kid needs help. Kenny bolts out of his seat and goes for the side door. He slides it open and sticks his head out as a long, sharp blade comes at Kenny, fast and furious, slicing into his throat. Kenny falls forward, out the door as the ghost masked figure is upon him. The camera pans to the monitor, just in time to see the ghost masked figure turn away from Randy, leaving him unharmed, moving instead out the front door on a 30-second walk to the news van. Interior, attic, continuous. The attic is long and narrow, cluttered with furniture, boxes and the likes. Moonlight filters in through a small raised window on the front wall of the house. Sydney moves through the attic, bumping into this, knocking over that. She passes a dusty mirror, jumping at her own reflection. She cringes at her image, drenched in Billy's blood.
You cringe.
She stares long and hard. Something about the blood, the redness of it. She moves on, determined. She eyes the raised window above her, a way out, if she could only reach it. Exterior, front yard. Gail and Dewey come running up the drive, frantic.
I'll call for backup.
I'll get my camera.
They split up. The camera follows Gail as she rushes to the news van, throwing open the door.
Kenny, camera, quick.
The van is empty.
Kenny?
A car horn goes off. Gail spins around. It came from the patrol jeep in the driveway.
Dewey?
She moves across the yard to the jeep. The door hangs open. Dewey is nowhere to be found.
Dewey, where are you?
A look of pure dread comes over Gail. Interior, attic, continuous. Sydney has stacked object after object, building a ladder to the window. She climbs to the top, holding onto the window frame. She spots Gail almost immediately. She screams out, looking for the window latch. But there's not one. It doesn't open. Sydney starts beating on it, trying to break it. Exterior, front door, continuous. Gail, hanging tough, approaches the front door, unable to hear Sydney's screams 3 floors up. Gail reaches for the door just as she hears loud, horrible shrieks from just inside. She backs away. Interior living room, continuous. An ear-curdling Jamie Lee Curtis scream blasts through the empty living room as the horror movie on TV comes to its horrifying climax. Randy is now gone. Exterior front yard, continuous. Gail races across the yard, putting distance between her and the house. She moves back to the van. Interior attic, continuous. Sydney has found an old tennis racket. She swings a solid forehand at the window. The window sprays glass. Sydney moves quickly, lifting herself off the broken glass and pulling herself through the window frame. Exterior side of house. Sydney wastes no time. She looks for Gail, screaming, but Gail is gone. Sid lowers herself down the ledge, sliding down a sloped portion of the roof onto the master bedroom's balcony. Then she eases herself over the railing and lowers herself, letting herself hang as low as she can. Then she lets go, free-falling the rest of the way. But in a split instant, the ghost appears, grabbing her wrists in mid-air. Her body hangs, dangling against the side of the house. The ghost begins to lift her, pulling her back onto the balcony. Sydney jerks, pulls, twists, but the hands have her, hoisting her up. Sydney screams madly, yanking one last time, freeing herself. She drops to the ground, a good 7 feet, landing on her back, hitting hard. She grabs at a pained leg and brings herself upright. Interior news van, continuous. Gail is frantic. She starts the engine up and hits the headlights. When she discovers she can't see out of the windshield, Gail rubs at the glass. Sure enough, something is on the windshield outside, blocking her sight. Gail hits the wipers as blood smears across the glass. It drips down from above. Gail screams as a hand reaches in through the open window. She looks up to see Randy staring at her madly.
What's going on?
A sheer moment of fear as Gail hits the gas, plummeting the car forward into a ditch. She hits the brakes. Randy is thrown forward away from the van. Gail reverses, backs up, hits the brakes again, just as Kenny's face comes sliding down the outside of the windshield, eyes wide, face distorted, blood everywhere. Gail hits the gas and yanks the wheel, sending Kenny's corpse flying off the top of the van. Gail spins the van around onto the road, hits the gas madly, gaining speed just as Sydney appears, in the middle of the road, drenched in blood. Gail swerves to miss her, but she turns too sharp and the van veers off the road at top speed, flipping over on its side, sliding off and into the thick foliage. Exterior road, continuous. Sydney races to where the van lays on its side. Sydney peers through the windshield. Gail's body lays limp and bloody. Sydney cries out, turning, limping to the driveway. She sees the patrol jeep with its open door. She goes for it. Interior jeep. Sydney hops in, reaches for the ignition. No keys. Shit. Just then, Sydney's eyes go to the front porch. She watches as the front door opens and a figure appears in the darkness, undetectable. Sydney throws the headlights, illuminating the front side of the house, revealing Dewey standing in the doorway.
Dewey!
Sydney opens the jeep door, moving to him, noticing his body slumped, his knees buckled, and then his body falls forward slowly, deliberately, hitting the porch hard. Standing behind him is the ghost. Sydney screams from the bottom of her soul.
No!
Sid jumps back inside the jeep, closing the door, locking it. She reaches over and locks the passenger's door, and then she waits and watches as the ghost leans over Dewey's body, fumbling with something. Then the figure stands upright. In his hands, he holds the keys. They jingle in the wind. The ghost is toying with her, enjoying this. Sydney, hysterical, locks eyes with the figure as he moves to the door. Sydney leaps on it, holding the lock button down, making it impossible to unlock. Her face is pressed against the glass, inches from the masked figure. She uses every ounce of strength when suddenly the ghost disappears, dropping down below the window, out of her view. Sydney moves to the centre of the jeep, trying hard to listen over her own rapid breathing, every sound amplified. Then she hears it, the soft jingling of keys near the passenger's side door. She pounces on the lock, holding it down. A shadow cuts the beam of the headlights, unseen by Sydney. The lock turns on the other side. Sydney leaps over and holds it down, securing it. This is beyond nerve-wracking. Sydney is certifiable. Her eyes spot the police radio for the first time. She grabs the mouthpiece and hits the switch.
Help, please. I'm at Stu Macer's house on Turner Lane. Please, he's gonna kill me.
Exterior, front of Jeep. Angle through the front windshield. Sydney ranting into the police band. She doesn't see the ghost figure open the tailgate door of the Jeep and slowly crawl in behind her. The ghost figure reaches out and grabs a hold of Sydney's neck. Sydney, with surprising strength, spins around and attacks the ghost. She falls back against the dash, legs out, kicking wildly at him. Her hand reaches for the door, finds the lock and door lever. As she pulls, the door swings open. Sydney nearly falls out, hitting the ground. Oh wait, Sydney falls out of the door, hitting the ground. Exterior, front yard, continuous. Sydney is on her stomach, squirms away from the Jeep. She brings herself up to her hands and knees, looking behind her to see nothing. The ghost has disappeared. Sydney's eyes roam the yard, but he's nowhere, completely gone, vanished. Sid crawls to the front porch where Dewey's body lays. Thinking quickly, precisely, she reaches to Dewey's holster and grabs his gun when a voice echoes behind her.
Sydney!
She turns to see Randy racing to her, limping. He appears stone-cold sober.
Jesus, Sid, we gotta get out of here.
Sydney throws the gun forward.
Stop right there.
Don't shoot, it's me.
Don't come any closer.
Listen to me, Sid. I found Tatum. She's dead. She'd been killed. I think Stu did it.
He takes a step forward when another voice speaks up.
Don't believe him, Sid.
Sydney spins around to see Stu moving up the walk.
He's lying. He killed Tatum and Billy.
Stu moves closer to Sydney.
Stay away.
She aims the gun in his direction.
His movie, not mine, is snapped. Sid. He's a psycho.
Don't listen to him. It's him. He's the one.
Sydney has lost it. She doesn't know who to trust. She aims the gun at Stu, then Randy, then Stu.
Come on, Sid. Give me the gun.
No, Sid.
They both move towards her. There's no time. She must act now. Finally.
You both.
And with that, Sydney steps back into the house and slams the front door shut. Interior living room foyer. Sid locks and bolts the door. From the other side, you can hear Randy screaming.
No, Sid, open up, please. He's gone crazy.
His fists pound against the door. Sydney, stumbling in the darkness, rushes to the phone in the living room. Just as she reaches for it, it rings. It scares the life out of her. She screams, yanking it up.
Please, God, help me.
Having fun, Sydney?
Sydney falls apart, screaming.
No.
She throws the phone down, disconnecting the call. Sid moves back to the door. Randy's screams are maddening. She eyes the lock, deliberating.
Oh, wait, leave me alone.
Clunk, a noise upstairs. Sydney looks up the staircase into the darkness, her face shocked to see Billy, emerging from the shadows, stumbling down the stairs, very much alive.
God, Billy.
He's blood-soaked and dazed. Sydney meets him in the landing, grabbing him, holding him.
I thought you were...
All right, gotta get help.
Billy goes for the door.
He's out there.
Randy continues pounding on the door, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Please, you gotta get me in. He's gonna kill me.
Billy goes for the door. Sydney blocks him.
No, don't believe him.
Okay, give me the gun.
Sydney hands him the gun. Billy turns and unlocks the door, opening it. Randy rushes in, grabbing Billy, pleading.
Help me.
Shh, it's okay.
Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
Slowly, a small smile creeps across Billy's face.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Randy squints, confused, as Billy aims the gun at him and pulls the trigger. The blast throws Randy's body against the wall before sliding to a heap on the floor, still.
Anthony Perkins, psycho.
Billy turns to Sydney,
Good movie.
who stands only feet away, face aghast. Fuck no, this can't be happening. Billy's eyes are on her, unmoving. He takes one of his bloodied fingers into his mouth, sucking the blood off of it.
Corn syrup. Same stuff they use for pig's blood and carry.
Sydney is dumbfounded. Slowly, she takes a step back, moving into the dark refines of the kitchen. Billy lurches forward in a fake-out, baiting her. She takes another step back, petrified. Close on Billy's face. It is no longer familiar to Sydney. There is something inhuman now about his features. His expression is pure evil. She takes another step back, shrinking into the dark kitchen. The camera takes a moment to adjust to the darkness as the outline of a figure appears, standing right behind Sydney. She continues to back up, moving right into the arms of Stu. Sydney spins around, her mouth open in speechless horror.
Stu, please, help me.
Stu stares back at her, eyes wide, lips curled in a subtle smile, as he holds a small, compact cellular phone up to his face.
Surprise, Sydney.
His voice sounds affected now, the voice of the killer. Sydney looks back to Billy, then to Stu, then to Billy again. It all becomes too clear. She stands between them, her mind racing, calculating. She bolts into the kitchen. If for no other reason than to put space between her and them, they stand in the entryway, trapping her in. Stu passes Billy the voice modulator, and he brings it up to his mouth, speaking into it.
What's the matter, Sydney? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Why are you doing this?
It's all part of the game, Sydney.
It's called Guess How I'm Gonna Die.
Fuck you.
We already played that game, remember? You lost.
It's a fun game, Sid. See, we ask you a question. If you get it wrong, you die. And if you get it right, you die.
You're crazy, both of you.
Stu leans over Billy's shoulder. Both of them have her trapped into a corner.
Actually, we prefer the term psychotic.
You'll never get away with this.
Tell that to Cotton Weary. You wouldn't believe how easy it was to frame him.
Yeah, we just watched a few movies, took a few notes. It was fun.
Billy and Stu relish in their madness, proud of themselves. Sydney almost collapses in grief. Then she looks back to Billy, unflinching, a determined look on her face.
Why did you kill my mother?
Why? Why? Did you hear that, Stu? I think she wants a motive. I don't really believe in motive, Sid. I mean, did Norman Bates have a motive?
Stu plays along, shaking his head.
Nope.
And did they ever really explain why Hannibal Lecter liked to eat people? Don't think so. You see, it's scarier when there's no motive, Sid.
I don't understand.
We did your mom a favor, Sid. The woman was a slutbag whore who flashed her shit all over town like she was Sharon Stone or something.
So we put her out of her misery. I mean, let's face it, your mom was no Sharon Stone.
Stu cracks up over this while Billy turns very serious.
Is that motive enough for you? Or how about this? Did you know your slut mother was sleeping with my dad and she's the reason my mom moved out and abandoned me?
A sudden silence. Sydney is rigid with shock, his words resonant with truth.
What?
Even Stu is surprised with the seriousness.
Think about it. On the off chance I get caught, a motive like that could divide a jury for years, don't you think? You took my mother, so I took yours. Big sympathy factor. Maternal abandonment causes serious deviant behavior. Certainly fucked you up. Made you have sex with a psychopath.
That's right. And now that you're no longer a virgin, you gotta die. Those are the rules.
Billy sets the gun down on the table near the foyer and then moves to Sydney with the butcher knife in hand.
Pretend this is all just a scary movie, Sid. How do you think it's gonna end?
Sydney doesn't respond.
Oh, this is the greatest part, Sid. You're gonna love this. It's the scream, baby. Wait here, I'll be right back.
Stu disappears into the next room.
You know what time it is, Sid? It's after midnight. It's your mother's anniversary. Congratulations. We killed her exactly 1 year ago today.
Sydney stands, trying hard to hold a calm resolve. A noise comes from the kitchen, a low, dragging sound. Stu reappears from the front hall, wrestling with something, someone. Close on Stu, he has a body in tow. He thrusts it forward and rolls it into the living room. Sydney looks down to find her father, bound and gagged, his eyes wide in fear, very much alive.
Daddy.
She starts for him.
Close enough.
Stu places the cellular phone in Mr. Prescott's shirt pocket.
Guess you won't be needing this anymore.
Got the ending figured out yet? Time's running out.
Come on, Sid, think about it. Your father's the chief suspect. We cloned his cellular. The evidence is there.
What if your father snapped? Your mom's anniversary set him off and he went on a murder spree, killing everyone.
Except for me and Billy. We were left for dead.
and then he killed you and shoots himself in the head. It's a perfect ending.
Yeah, I thought it up.
Watch this.
Billy turns to Stu with the knife. They eye each other.
Ready?
Yeah.
Billy pulls the knife back and brings it forward quickly, slicing into Stu. He stumbles to his knees, wincing in pain.
Jesus.
Sydney screams as blood gushes, real blood, a dark, deep red. Stu inspects the wound to his side, then he smiles.
Good one. My turn.
He takes the knife from Billy.
Don't forget, stay to the side and don't go too deep.
Okay, I'll remember.
Stu stabs at Billy's belly, puncturing him. Billy doubles over.
God, fuck! God damn it, Stu!
Sorry, Billy. I got too zealous. Ah.
Give me the knife.
Oh.
Give me the knife. Now.
Like a loyal pet, Stu hands it over.
You see, Sid, everyone dies but us. We get to carry on and plan the sequel. Let's face it, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
Billy slashes at Stu again, this time in the arms, over and over.
You sick fucks. You've seen one too many movies.
Billy looks at her, bent over, crazed.
Oh, Sid, don't blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies just make psychos more creative.
Stu staggers a bit.
That's it, Billy. I can't take any more. I'm feeling woozy here.
Get the gun. I'll untie Pops.
Billy moves to Sydney's father.
Houston, we have a problem here.
Stu is searching the foyer for the gun.
What?
The gun, man. The gun. I put it right here and it's not there.
Billy hobbles over. The gun is gone.
Where the fuck is it?
Right here, asshole.
Billy and Stu look up in unison to see Gail Weathers, correspondent from Inside Story, standing in the front doorway, gun in hand, her body tattered and bloody, her hair a mess.
I thought she was dead.
Still looks dead, man. She still does.
Gail holds the gun firm in total control.
I've got an ending for you. The reporter left for dead in the news van comes to, stumbles upon you two dipshits, finds the gun, fumbles your plan, saves the day.
Sydney steps forward.
I like that ending.
Billy lunges at Gail, but she holds steady. Billy and Stu eye each other.
She can't get both of us.
Odds are she'll miss anyway.
In a mad rush, they storm Gail, heading straight at her. She pulls the trigger, but nothing happens. The safety is on. Billy charges forward, grabbing hold of the front door, slamming it shut. It catches Gail in the face, knocking her backwards out the door. She goes down, out.
I'll move.
Billy steps out the front door and retrieves the gun from where Gail lays. He points it at her head.
Works better without the safety on. This is Gail Weathers, signing off.
Billy cocks the gun and Stu smiles.
Maybe you're gonna love this.
Stu turns back to find Sydney gone.
Shit.
What?
Stu looks around, staggering now, bleeding heavily. Sydney has completely disappeared. Only her father, bound and gagged, remains in the living room. Billy follows Stu into the kitchen, looking around, frantic.
Where is she?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm hurting, man.
Where the fuck did she go?
Suddenly, the phone rings. Billy and Stu look at each other, completely surprised.
Should I get, or should you get?
Billy scrambles over to the phone.
Hello?
Are you alone in the house?
Billy looks to Mr. Prescott. The cellular phone is gone.
You bitch. Where the fuck are you?
Not so fast. We're gonna play a little game. It's called Guess Who Called the Police and Reported Your Sorry Motherfucker Ass?
Billy looks around the living room.
Find her.
Billy is fuming now, slightly staggering, and he's starting to lose it. He screams at Stu, who is slumped over a desk, bleeding profusely from where Billy stabbed him, coughing up blood.
Find her, you dipshit.
I can't. I'm bad off, Billy. You cut me too deep. I think I'm dying here, man.
Billy puts the phone in Stu's hand. He whispers to him so Sid can't hear.
Talk to her. Talk to her.
Then Billy takes off for the kitchen. Stu takes the phone.
Hello?
Oh, Stu. So what's your motive? Billy's got one. The police are on your way. What are you going to tell them?
Peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive.
Billy flies back into the room, grabbing the phone from Stu. He's completely nuts now, staggering, bleeding, totally insane.
I'm gonna rip you up, you bitch. Just like your fucking mother.
Hang me first, you pansy-ass mama's boy.
Billy tosses the phone, hitting Stu in the process.
Oh. You fucking hit me with the phone, dick.
Billy starts ripping the room up, overturning furniture in a mad fit of rage. Stu picks up the phone again, speaking in a worried voice.
Did you really call the police?
Bet you're sorry ass I did.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me.
Billy notices the hall closet. He smells deliriously, heading for it, ripping it open as a ghost-masked figure strikes from within with an umbrella, the sharp end hitting him in the chest as it fans out. Billy stumbles back, stunned, as the ghost comes at him again. The umbrella lodges in his chest and he goes down. Sydney rips the ghost mask off her head. She looks at Billy, disgusted, throwing the mask on Billy's now still body. A movement behind her sends her reeling around to find Stu. As he tumbles out of the kitchen into the hallway, he is absolutely enraged at the sight of Billy's body and yells, running at Sydney, pushing her full force into the next room. They both tumble on the ground. Sydney manages to flip him, kneeing him in the groin. Stu yells and punches her in the face. She manages to crawl away from him, getting up to run before being tackled. Stu and Sydney crash into the living room table, then fall to the carpet, Stu on top of her, pinning her wrists down. He screams in her face, unhinged.
I always had a thing for you, Sid.
Sydney bites down on one of Stu's hands, managing to free herself from his grip. She finds a vase with her free hand and brings it down upon his head. He collapses. She gets up, her hands gripping the television set just above him.
Your dreams.
Stu screams and Sydney pushes the TV down and onto his head, sparks flying everywhere as he writhes on the floor before going limp, dead. Sydney makes her way back out to the hallway. Everything is now strangely quiet. She presses her hand against her shoulder wound, clearly exhausted and pain. Suddenly there is a hand on her shoulder and she whips around, terrified, ready to strike again.
Sorry.
Oh my god, Randy. I thought you were dead.
I probably should be. I never thought I'd be so happy to be a virgin.
Suddenly Randy is punched in the face, knocked down by none other than Billy Loomis, still alive, barely. He lifts Sydney up by her jacket and slams her down on the floor.
You fucker.
Sydney struggles. He wraps his hands around her throat, crazed.
Say hello to your mother.
Sydney, thinking fast, digs her hands into Billy's open chest wound. He cries out bloody murder. Her other hand brings the gun up to his face, but he knocks it out of her hands, and it skids down the hallway near the front door. Suddenly a flash of silver appears above Sydney. Billy has grasped the butcher's knife. He rises high above, ready to strike, when a bullet rips through the foyer, striking Billy, knocking him back into the living room. Sydney looks up to see Gail Weathers, holding the gun in a death grip as smoke rises above the gun's chamber. Sydney sits up. Gail moves to her, helping her. Their eyes meet. A life truce. Randy helps Gail inside. She limps over to Sydney, muttering under her breath.
Nifty that time, you bastard.
Billy lies, interior living room continuous. Billy lies face up, half collapsed against the stairs where he landed. Sydney nudges Billy's body. She grabs the gun from Gail.
Careful. This is a moment when you think the killer's dead, but then he springs back to life for one last scare.
Suddenly, Billy's hand shoots up, his eyes opening. There is no time for anyone to scream as Sydney pulls the trigger, shooting Billy square between the eyes, killing him instantly. There's a sigh of relief from Gail and Randy.
Not my movie.
A figure lunges at them. Both Sid and Gail and Randy scream in an epic final scare as Mr. Prescott leaps forward, still bound and gagged. Sid catches her breath, relaxing.
Dad.
She rushes to him, untying him, while Gail moves to the bookcase and retrieves her hidden camera.
I want to close up.
Exterior, Maker's home. A few moments have passed. There are police cars outside the Maker residence, along with a news van. Sydney is being comforted by Randy. They are both being tended to by doctors. A man is wheeled away on a stretcher, giving a weak thumbs up to Gail on the way into the ambulance. Deputy Dewey Riley, still alive, for now. Gail smiles a little, thankful, before turning her attention towards the camera crew, putting on a brave face.
All right, are we rolling? Hi, this is Gail Weathers with an exclusive eyewitness account of this amazing breaking story. Several more teenagers dead, bringing to an end the harrowing mystery of the mass killings that have terrified this peaceful community. The plot of a scary movie. It's all began with a scream over 911 and I got a dip now.
What? Oh, okay.
What?
I got a dip.
All right. Thank you so much for taking part.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
thanks. This was so fun.
He's
and
gone.
she's gone.
Bye.
The camera pulls out slowly. We see more police cars swarming the area as Gail enters the home, telling her story to the cameras. We see the sunrise slowly creep up over the home, a strangely beautiful sight. We fade to black. Then there's a flash, and a mask-wearing figure lunges at the camera for a split second before we cut away. One final scare to wrap up this hell of a scary movie. The end. We did it! Hell yeah! That was so
Yes.
fun.